never.
All right, we're live. So anyway, hi everybody. We're just gonna go ahead and start this off and do the live stream. I've got my friends Ed, Brandon, Jake, and Ryan here thus far, and actually a couple more people might show up as we're actually doing the stream. So that'll be super cool. Hopefully it's not too interruptive. But we wanted to go ahead and do the live stream today and actually just sit down and have a talk about all this information from the Q&A that's dropping. They have dropped information about unit profiles, and they have dropped some weapon template, or weapon, I don't want to say the word template, weapon profile information today. As we know, templates are going away, so also if I hear myself in volume, when someone has volume, try to turn the volume down so it doesn't echo. That'd be awesome, because then people are going to complain and be like, why is it...
Turn your ringers off on your phone.
Yeah, I'm working on
it. Okay. No, it's cool. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. But yeah, so I will be looking also at the chat window, and people will have chat windows up so they can kind of respond if people are coming into the stream and responding. I know we had at least 3 people yesterday that just showed up into the test stream, so hopefully you guys will come into the stream now and be asking questions. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start it off by talking about stuff from the Q&A. So what did you guys think about the information that was revealed with the Q&A video? Particularly, was there anything that really stood out? We'll just start with you, Ed. Was there anything that stood out for you? Did you watch the whole Q&A video?
I did not, but the biggest thing for me was the armor value leaving
from vehicles.
From vehicles, yes. That's a big change, and I'm an old school player. I don't necessarily agree with that.
So what about it bothers you?
To me, I feel some vehicles, such as heavily armored Land Raiders and stuff, shouldn't be able to be destroyed by small arms fire.
So you would say that giving a vehicle or something like that, I don't know, and I think a couple people have said something similar on the groups, that giving a vehicle or even a monstrous creature a bunch of wounds to basically make up for that and say, well, it's got all the heavy armor protection because it has a bunch of wounds. You don't think that's an acceptable...
It'll help balance it. I'm not sure if it was the complete answer. I mean, it'll obviously... I'm assuming the Land Raiders will also have saves too, or is it just the Dreadnoughts and stuff like that?
No, I'm assuming they'll have saves.
So
because the Land Raiders, or Dreadnought's considered a vehicle.
Yeah.
So if they're the same type of a unit, and it's got a 3+ save...
I mean, if you got the saves, yes. Now, it could get a little nutty if, say, a Land Raider has a 2+ save. That might be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Because I've blown up a lot of Land Raiders even with armor 14, but now they get a 2+ save.
Yeah, but and to clarify, he's talking about probably Dirty Tau units, that do Dirty Tau things.
Oh, yeah.
Storm Surges and... but yeah.
Riptide Wing.
Yeah, you're not going to have... and just to clarify this too, more competitive mindset on the right side of the table, which is totally fair. I'm in the middle of that competitive narrative fluff mindset. I love both of them. So
now, one thing I did like with the whole getting rid of armor facings, that really takes out a section of the argument phase, so to speak, of what is hitting side arc, front arc. This way, it's all the same. It don't matter what position you are, if you're behind them or not, because that plain armies such as the Tyranids and stuff with flyers, you had to maneuver around to get rear armor on a lot of their stuff because most of their guns are only strength 6. So
right.
It takes some strategy maneuvering to get around those vehicles. Now it's just it don't really matter what you're facing.
Anybody feel free to cut in. I mean, Brandon, I'm sure you got something to say about that too.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan of vehicles getting toughness values. I've kind of said that back when it was just something people were kicking around. There's a lot of comparison between a Wraith Knight having a toughness 8 and being roughly equivalent to a Dreadnought in a lot of ways. Would have needed a 3 to wound if hit by a last cannon in the past, but lowering it down like that, where vehicles would have been totally immune to small arms fire before, like a Dreadnought would be completely immune to strength 4 and 5. Now those weapons are going to wound on 6s, so if you get volume of fire, you're going to eventually cause some damage where it would have been completely immune before.
But don't you think that's a good thing for a larger, stronger unit, though?
I don't really think it's a good thing for, I mean, like, what if a Land Raider has a toughness of 7? You're going to be able to take a Land Raider down with bolters? And
Well, technically, and as it was pointed out, you can kind of do that now.
But I think a
Because
bolter is a bad
a
example.
bolter
though.
can one-shot give a Land Raider if it's buffed, if you've got buffs on a weapon, and it rolls a 6, right? You can have a wounded explodes result with a Land Raider from a bolter weapon now, theoretically.
But that's a pretty isolated situation where it would have been, now any stock bolter could potentially.
Yeah, armor 14 was near impossible to blow up.
So you think it makes it easier
Four.
for you're saying not like a bunch of no, that is how you're saying, I think, if I understand you correctly, that a bunch of guys firing bolters
Could potentially kill a Land Raider where it
See,
would
I
have
think
been.
that's okay. I think I'm totally good. Like I use the StarCraft analogy. Like if you've got 40 Marines, you got 50 Marines or 60 Marines, all shooting. Now not taking into account like stim injections or anything like that, but which increases their fire rate. But 40 guys shooting these heavy weapons to shoot huge metal slugs out of them at a vehicle, they're gonna blow it up. Like they're gonna do damage to it, right?
I kind of see what you're saying, but let's think about things like this. I'm sorry, I'm gonna derail you for a second on that, but like let's look at it like World War II. You're talking about anti-tank rounds that can bounce off slanted armor. I mean, armor for something that heavy is gonna be designed to ricochet rounds off of
It's
it,
got
something like
ceramite
that.
armor and all that.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I
like,
suppose.
and so like a las gun. I mean, even a bolter, and I like the bolter example because that's like an anti-tank, automatic rifle essentially is what it is in fluff. So if you put that like fluff to tabletop, it'd be ridiculous. You would be able to blow up all that, but kind of slowing that back a bit, I think, is a good thing. I mean, the ability to take a squadman's rifle and blow up the heaviest armor they have. I mean, maybe if it's a creature with like toughness, sure. Or if you're in an assault, obviously you're prying the hatch off, chucking the nade down, boom, there you go. But I don't know, man. Like a las gun, like 60 las guns being able to blow up like a Lehman Russ. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm cool on that.
Yeah, but that's like a lot of guns, though. That's a lot of guns.
But that's
firing
armor
vehicles
designed
on
not to be
enemies.
hurt by those
Well,
kind of guns.
just an example, like your normal everyday recent tank, the Abrams.
Uh-huh.
The Abrams, from what I've read, has never been destroyed by only mines. That's the only way
Well,
you
sure,
destroyed
no
it,
way.
or the other one that was disabled was by friendly fire on accident. So no other tank or guns have destroyed an Abrams tank in that.
Exactly. And
A
like,
Land Raider is supposed to be far and beyond, of the tank of an
that's
Abrams.
what I
By-
mean. If
by the
modern
same
armor is
token, though, like-
sorry, go ahead. My bad. Sorry.
I think what a lot of people aren't taking into consideration is that they're not changing the rules in a sense so that a squad of guard can take down a tank. It might be able to finish off a tank, but you're not going to use guard
Nope.
to completely wipe out a vehicle. So, yeah, you can wound it, but with it being highly
yeah.
unlikely, plus the addition of, they're not capping stats out at 10 anymore. So, who knows what the actual toughness of those tanks are going to be at
And we
this
don't know
That's
point.
a fair-
we don't
that's
know.
a fair
We
argument,
don't know what
yeah.
the save's going to be either on something.
As long as
Right.
it doesn't come down to you can roll a 6 and still damage it, I think I'm okay with it.
I
because
doubt it
that's,
would be
that's
just-
way to fire that.
I doubt it would be just a straight 6. It might be, you might take like the D&D approach where you have to confirm a crit.
yeah.
You get a 6 to wound it, then you need an additional 6 on those 6s to actually cause some kind of damage. But then with it being a las gun, there's probably going to be no modifier to the save,
Which would be great.
and the vehicle would
Yeah,
still
I'd be
get
cool
its
with that.
save.
Yeah.
So we haven't really seen the whole mechanics yet, and I really don't think that they're even saying like, yes, everything can hurt everything, but it's highly unlikely, and I could see something like that taking
I
effect
think that's
instead.
a fair argument. That's a really fair
That's a
argument.
fair argument,
Yeah.
but I don't even like the possibility of something being hurt. Like, I'm a knight player.
Yeah.
And, when you've got an army of knights at 2,000 points, that's 5 models that are on the board.
Yeah.
So you have to leverage that not being able to be hurt. You have to be able to wade through. So, just being able to have lucky shots have an impact.
To that point, though, they've also said on the Q&A that the Knights are one of the highest wound count models there. Between the Knights and the Lord of Skulls, they couldn't remember which one was the highest. So you might be having 5 models, and yes, you might be able to be hurt by las guns, but if you have, say, 40 wounds and you need a 6 and then a 6 on top of that to cause 1, plus you still get your armor save, you're still going to be quite durable.
So they're
Understood.
like turned off
Understandably.
slightly.
To me, it kind of it gives me the feel of like everything is like what the Necrons are now. So on a 6, that's how I feel. It's
let's
gonna
not
be
make
like.
everything dirty.
Well,
What's
I'm
wrong?
just saying, like Gauss weapons. So basically, they're giving everybody the ability of Gauss.
Well, I mean,
That's kind of how I feel.
Unless they add another layer to it, which
Yeah.
I could probably see them doing.
If they did,
But I mean,
think
with
I would
40,
have a problem.
an aspect though, with something with 40 wounds,
that's a lot of accounting.
that
too.
already irritates me right there because I don't like keeping track of 8 wounds.
Well,
best yet 40
that's
wounds.
that's the thing
And
that's got
people
me
are going to hit
concerned.
dice, and you're going to
Yeah.
be like, you know.
It could kind of work a little bit if, like, that weapon table thing we saw there where it had the D6, like, damage for the last cannon. So let's imagine it's like that. So what happens when the last cannon hits you if it rolls, like, a D6 for wounds or something like that
It
as
kills
well?
you. That's what it does.
Yeah, what he said.
That's right.
But, that,
I
I
don't
think...
shoot last cannons at tanks. I only shoot them in single infantry models.
Well, that's fair.
Right.
You
And
sound like a
and
very intelligent player.
and
No,
expect to
welcome
clear
to
out
the
half the
discussion.
squad.
Welcome to...
I come down and I hear,
Well, but I think that'd be a little more balanced for it. Like, if you got 40 wounds, that's great, but if, like, your AT round is knocking off D6s or something like that, you know, that's a
Yeah.
little better than, like, 1.
Right, and you're still quite durable, even
But
if
again,
the
we
last
haven't-
cannon can take off D6.
What he said, we haven't seen it, so, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
who knows?
we'll see what happens.
That's
But
all.
me and Brandon's been playing for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
We're
Well-
kind of used to a set of standards that have, you know,
Back in my day!
Yeah. Some things have,
Frankie Con.
you know, come around, you know, but overall,
Ryan, you wanna
a
sit
lot
down
of
here,
the
man?
basics
There's, like,
of the
camera
game
views,
have
like, down
carried
this way,
over
so I don't know if
throughout
you
the
wanna do
years.
the shot or no.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Also,
I'm gonna
though,
sit next to Brent. Hey,
What's
how's it
up?
going?
devil's
Oh, hey,
advocate
baby.
that is, if you show up with Force of Chaos Space Marines, like I saw happen, in fact, in the game that Mike actually played, where we were concerned about Mike and the rules a little bit, because, you know, he was getting back into the game and not knowing things, but in that game,
It's an interesting rate.
that was technically a
I
super
don't think we can
unfair
make that joke.
fight anyway, because he was sitting there with the Lehman Russ tanks, he had Steel Legion, a bunch of front armor
You gotta be
14s, and
professional.
he was walking across the board with Chaos Space Marines. He was going to get
Oh, yeah.
slaughtered. No matter what he did, he was going to get slaughtered. No matter where he walked, he was going to get slaughtered. Right? So that's not really a fun game to show up and play, because if you're like all excited because you've got an army of Marines that you want to just, you know, march on the board and like have a game with, but if somebody shows up with a bunch of armor you can't do anything to, that sucks. So the fact that anything can damage anything, I think brings that fun back, because you probably aren't going to want to keep squads of guys shooting at a Land Raider in the open anyway.
Right now.
But you can still do damage. Like, you can still maneuver your guys back in cover. You can still do something or feel like the squad actually did something, as opposed to, I'm just going to get my ass handed to me because I have, you know, a bunch of infantry guys and he has a bunch of armor and, you know, I don't have any anti-tank anything.
We'll have to play a game, Brandon, where I
Sure.
bring 90 Devil Gaunts against your Knights and see how it does.
Yeah, well, sure. Bring them on.
I mean, do you think that's a fair? Do you think that's a fair thing to say, though?
I do think it's a fair thing to say.
Everybody has their opinion.
And I think something else too is like with the introduction of like damage table. So as you take more wounds, you start getting less effective too. I imagine with the small arms fire against tanks, with that kind of table being implemented as well, it is going to be difficult for them to wound it. But at the same token, you don't have to completely destroy a tank now to take it out of the game, or at least minimize its effectiveness. So it might be something where you need 1 or 2 more wounds to maybe drop it down to the next damage bracket, and so you fire a squad of infantry at it to try to knock those 2 wounds off. You're not going to take a squad of infantry and try to take down a tank unless you absolutely have to. It's going to be like a last ditch, I just need a little more kind of thing.
Well, let's talk about grav a little bit. It's
Okay.
going to make
I
vehicles
love
much
Grav.
more.
It's my favorite.
Oh well, I hate grav personally, but
I
that's
love
going
grav.
to make
I do
vehicles
too, it's
more
my favorite.
vulnerable to grav, because now they're going to have an armor saber. Before you needed a 6 to do a glancing hit.
Right.
Now you need a 2 or a 3, and there's no armor save.
Unless they
Grav
change
had
up
shown
Grav.
itself.
Well, they have to
Well,
adjust grav.
Yeah,
but-
okay.
They could
I
change
think
it.
we're actually jumping the gun because we don't know how Grav's going to function.
Well, that's true, but assume they don't change it. You know, it's similar to what it is. They're
I'm
I'm
not
not
debating
assuming
it.
shit.
Well, right.
Like, everything you thought you know, they're like,
right, yeah, but
you know, I mean, like,
I mean, I think the only real problem anyone, at least where I'm coming from and hearing what they're saying, that you can have a big problem with it, is again, like, in the case of something that has no realistic ability to hurt a tank, being able to hurt a tank, is the problem. So what we heard over here and what Hoop
Whether
over
it's a
here
slim
said,
chance or not.
Exactly. What Hoop said over here was like, it's great, you roll a 6 to do it. Maybe there's a damage table beyond to see if it actually pulls anything off and you have to roll another 6 again. Which is a great idea, but again, if I'm firing a pistol at a tank, even if that tank has already been hit a couple of times, yay!
Saving Private
what's
Ryan
that?
effect.
Yeah, what's that gonna do? I mean,
Yeah, you've seen that video.
oh, that is somebody did it. Welcome to 8th edition. It was Tom Hanks and it popped the tiger.
I think that's over dramatic. I don't think.
And it's sad, but if every weapon can do it on a 6, then that's a possibility, and I think that's what people are irritated about.
I think there's something we're missing. I really do. I think there's
It's
something we're
possible.
missing
We don't
in
know
this
yet.
contention.
I mean,
Because
it's
the
entirely
thing is,
possible.
I don't know. I think that the game, okay, 7th edition was built, I'm pretty sure, to favor win at all cost armies.
Yeah,
Okay?
power gamers.
Seriously. No, yeah, he's coughing and being goofy about it, but I'm serious. I think 7th edition was written to favor win at all cost armies, and even in the competitive scene, like when I was talking to guys, the top 10 guys, the LVO, most notably the one I remember, I was talking to William Abelez. He was saying the game's not meant to be played this way technically, because they had issues with deployments and taking long
Second
deployments.
phase.
He was actually playing a Tau list, and the list is up there somewhere for the 2016 LVO. But with his Tau list, he had all the things you would expect in a competitive, what fluff players consider cheesy Tau list, right? But he had the initiative seized on him against the Renegade Zombie Guard, and he lost. He's like, I lost. Like he seized the initiative, and I knew I was going to lose.
Yeah.
So. In terms of people just wanting to come and play 40K, that is not fun. That sucks.
A lot of
Games Workshop knows that, right?
Well, a lot of the armies right now, Eldar, Tau, a lot of those games hinge on going first. If Eldar goes first, they're very hard to beat with their long-range weapons.
Oh, Eldar, yeah.
I mean,
Tower,
Tower disgusting too. But I mean, everybody has their own quirks. Right now, Chaos is a hot army with all the psychic dice, and you take cheap psychic
that. Okay,
boosters.
Psychic dice. Can we please hope to God they cut away? It's like
I liked it better when it was like spells sort of thing. Like,
Didn't
I'm
Age of
not gonna
Sigmar
lie.
nuke the psychic phases?
Yeah, I mean,
Saying,
good.
that's just me.
for all argument's sakes, some people say this is not like Age of Sigmar. This is very similar to Age of Sigmar. There's no
Yes,
There's
but I
no
still don't,
cutting.
I think so.
I
I don't
think-
think that's unfair. I said in the
Yes.
podcast,
I think it's more like Age of Sigmar than it is 40K.
well, I don't know. I don't know if I even agree with that.
They aren't trashing the lore. That's what Age of Sigmar did for me. The trashing the lore is what drove me away.
I don't
rules
think they're
rules
Age
sound
of
great.
Sigmar
but-
as
Yeah,
in
completely
40K.
getting rid of armies.
I think that's
Yeah,
kind
no,
of a dumb
that's
thing.
That's
to
terrible.
say.
They might
We're all
be taking the
spheres
things
of
that
influence
work,
now,
and if they
different
practically
worlds,
apply,
like,
yeah.
I wrote
think-
that in
I
5th
think-
grade. What the hell's wrong with you?
I think you're right there
Right.
in 5th grade. I think I wrote a better story.
Talk about
think-
Age of Sigmar lore. Sorry, we were over here on the side.
Yeah, no. The lore is important too, but I think they put like Age of Sigmar into a pot, and then whatever was good and below to the surface, they took that and they're like, let's implement this with 40K. Because 40K is a selling game. Age of Sigmar was a dying game, and it didn't sell.
I would be curious to
Or
see.
fantasy battle. Sorry,
You
Warhammer
put
Fantasy.
40K 8th edition next to Age of Sigmar, and I would like to see the check boxes of similarities between the two.
But
And
maybe
I bet
Age
you
of
guys
Sigmar
will
was
see
inspired.
a lot more than you
Excuse me.
expect.
Was
You
inspired. Maybe
heard
Age
it
of
here
Sigmar was
first.
inspired.
Ed
by
Lamb
40K.
making predictions.
Don't consider this a community.
I mean, the thing is, like,
GW
one
said.
thing that's not going to
Yeah,
happen
I didn't
though
say that.
is because with Age of Sigmar, there's no points list, and you're just showing up with whatever power you want and like slugging it out. And 40K is not going to. I don't think 8th is going to feel that way.
Well, the two versions won't require points.
What do you mean?
Correct.
No.
There's one version that's points for tournament cases, and the other two.
No,
lists
all
are-
versions will require points.
Yeah,
Are
even-
we
but
sure
the
of that?
even the
Because
narrative,
that Q&A,
they said
Q&A
even narrative.
yeah.
will
Because the
have
Q&A,
points.
I didn't
Yeah.
see it on.
They talked
they
about
did
it.
talk about it
They
briefly. There's
mentioned
going to be
it, but
two
it
different
sounded
points.
like it was for one.
Yeah.
But it didn't sound like it was entirely for the others. But I mean, why? I don't know. I couldn't
Like,
see it.
what I
taken
heard
away.
was for like the narrative, it's going to be like just each separate unit is going to be certain
Yeah.
points cost, and then for the more competitive, it's going to be this squad here, and then the upgrades and everything else.
Okay, so the
Okay.
third version will have
Okay.
the upgrades. The second version won't, and they'll just be stock.
Well, the other
items.
version where like the upgrades will essentially just because it's narrative, it's like okay, this guy has a melta,
Yeah, for like the narrative play, it was
Okay.
you pay a certain block of points for the squad. You can kit that squad out however you want, but it's just you're paying an average point cost for what a well-rounded squad would have. Whereas the match play, it's like what we have now, where you buy the unit, you pay for every extra guy, you pay for every weapon upgrade, you pay for every additional
Actually,
add-on.
kind of cool for narrative. I kind of like that.
I kind of like
That's
that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
that's okay for narrative, but
Yeah, I can do
definitely
that.
wouldn't have been wouldn't
I
have
think
been
it'd
good
be
for the
more-
tournament. version.
Yeah, but I don't think you
It's
would.
all
that's-
about minting and maxing, shaving points where you can.
Mhm.
I think it'll be
I
more
mean-
fun for narrative because you'll see more things like, oh, no one ever uses this gun or this unit. It sucks. But like with narrative, it's like, hey, let's bring this in. Let's have some fun with it.
No,
You know?
that's. I think that's a good point. Like orcs, you bring knobs now. Nobody brings knobs, whatever. But who cares if it's narrative and it's a cheap point blob? Why the hell not?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Bring it on in.
Hard armor, like people don't even pay for that. Like, oh, well, we'll just throw that in there.
Yeah, Ard boys never get used.
I am very curious to see what they are going to do with psychic phase. That's I'm a Grey Knight player, and I just kind of
Oh,
I'm gonna be sad if I can't roll 30 dice. You know.
well,
Don't
I like.
Hey,
Don't hate.
you're looking at an Eldar player over here too.
I
so.
know, but
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
But-
stupid space
how I
species.
survive in the same room as you is impressive to me. So let's just, I'm going to keep drinking. We're not going to worry about that.
Hey.
We're not going to worry
Have
about
a Pepsi.
it. Give that man the Pepsi. I don't want to kill him. I'm sorry.
Pepsi is peace.
I mean, I'm really hoping. with
it's alright.
these-
Jake's a fluff bunny.
Speaking
I
of,
love- dude,
speaking
Fluff-
of the Eldar,
That's what this man writes
I'm
out
really
here.
hoping
Fluff is
they-
hard mode.
They
Fluff
hit the
is
Eldar with
That
the
is
dirt
the-
stick,
that is
man.
hardcore.
I am so
Yeah.
sick of
Well, I mean-
undercosted bike squads with scatter lasers.
Fuck the
I'm so
bike
tired.
squads. Raid Knights should not
Hey,
be 195 points.
I'm more concerned about the scatter bikes than
Raid Knights
honestly
are only
than the Raid
190
Knights.
something.
Yeah, but I mean,
Something
people
sick
fuck.
like
Like,
that.
I saw one guy
Riptides
ran a
are
Raid
130
Knight.
points.
Yeah, I know. We talked about Riptides, and
bring
I
a Raid
shit
Knight to a
myself when I heard
1500
about
point
it.
game.
It's terrible.
I mean, I guess that's kind of.
I mean, you
It's 135
can fit 3 in a
points.
1500
Oh,
point game.
kill me.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah,
3.
I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous.
You know what I could bring for
You
that?
shouldn't.
I can
That
bring
should be 400 points.
30 boys for 200
I'm hoping to get
points.
some love
And
for
he'll
the
kill all
sisters.
of them.
I can
You
bring
want
a Black
plastic
Squad in
sisters.
there.
Plastic. I
I
want
know,
just
okay.
sisters in general,
Well-
just something.
I'm down.
What
with
Shout
that.
out
chance
to
does that
Eagle
even
Queen,
stand?
we were in the
No,
thing,
it
and I
doesn't
kept
stand
putting,
anything.
like, we were
It's so
spamming,
bad.
just like, I kept
Yeah.
saying plastic, sisters,
That's right.
answer it. They wouldn't answer it, man. They ignored it. They ignored everybody on
Dude,
that.
I want a plastic.
They gave you
Thunderhawk.
a.
Well,
they'll give you
Celestine
plastic
proved they could do
sisters now.
plastic sisters.
Oh, that's true.
They could do it.
Plastic sister.
Well, I mean, would you be okay?
Maybe they'll be in. Maybe they'll be in
You got your
the
plastic
starter kit
sister.
this time.
Well, would you
Maybe
be
There
they'll
okay
was
if
some
they
leaked
even did,
images of
Fine
it. It looked like
Was it?
Ultramarines.
I would be okay with that
Oh,
as long
God,
as they
is it
gave
the
us something.
Ultramarines
Right now,
again?
we only got one troop.
But I think they're going to be.
You know,
I think the
it's
Marines
just-
they're not going to have
it's
like
just
that
so limiting.
molded on.
and the
care,
models
just
are
so-
metal,
so you can paint them however
you've
you
got a
want.
subpar
Okay,
codex,
That's what I think. 'cause
and
it's got,
then
like,
you've
all
got
that
to pay
molded
more than
blue.
you've got to pay
That
with
would
any
be
other
something
army to
like
get
that.
into it. Of course, no new players are playing sisters.
Well, there's third-party sisters you can buy too, right?
Well, we don't want to talk about those. No.
I know, but I'm just saying, like people.
Smart man right
like-
there.
right, but I want to point that out.
Copyright.
Games Workshop has been doing so good. Everything else, don't let the people buy the third-party sisters. You know, everybody wants plastic sisters.
What if they're the
Everybody
starter
wants
kit?
plastic
What if it's
sisters.
Death Guard and Sisters of Battle? As the
Yeah, I
starter
don't
I
think
would
that's
mean-
gonna happen.
I
Didn't they
have-
do the or not the triumvirate, but what's the one with that Saint Celestine around the crazy chick? Like, what was that one? The one with the flying one they just
Yeah,
did
that was
recently.
the
I forget what
that
it's
was the
called.
triumvirate.
Was it triumvirate
That
of the
wasn't a
Imperium?
triumvirate, or what
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they already did
It
something
was-
like that
it was
with
the
like
very
resin,
first one.
right? So I mean, it can't be too far
That
off.
was plastic.
That's-
so-
Oh, was it plastic? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm an
Plastic.
idiot. Yeah, no, but then that's even better. So that means I can't be too far off.
I've got at least
Wasn't a
5,000
canoness in
points
there?
worth of sisters. Yeah, well, not a canoness, but they did a resin canoness.
Yeah.
But I will totally buy a brand new army if they put out plastic.
I'm
sisters.
saying it'll be Death Guard and Sisters of Battle. That'll be the starter kit. That'd
Again,
be
you hear it
rad.
here. It won't.
I know, I'm
It won't.
totally wrong.
It's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
be
Marines.
totally wrong.
It's gonna be
It's gonna
Marines.
be Ultramarines. I'll cry.
No,
It's gonna
stop it right now.
It's Marines.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now. It's
Is
Marines.
that
So
word
it's
still
gonna-
working
there's
at
gonna be
Games
Marines,
Workshop?
I'm
It's
sure, but
Ultramarines.
There's not like it's not gonna be Ultramarines. Just shut up.
I think it's gonna be Ultramarines.
He's,
For what?
For
I
the
seen
start-
there was leaked
start-
images,
start
and I
box.
seen. I mean, they're really blurry, but I saw what looked like blue
oh, is
Marines
that
to
the
me,
model size
and
or the
Nurgle
true size
Marines.
ones?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's
what I
Ultramarine-
see.
If it,
Damn.
If you put Ultramarines
Oh.
on the cover, you can give them whatever shoulder pads. you
Well,
want.
yeah, I think they'd be fools to do that
No,
like they did
no
with like
Marine
Dark
should have
Vengeance.
anything but blue armor, in my opinion.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh,
God!
man.
Oh, Ed's
What-
the most
wait,
hated man on
what
YouTube
did he
right
say?
now.
I love the Smurfs.
They're a cool
What's
chapter.
wrong with you? Can I say that?
I
Good.
have
Oh, you
approximately
did.
five.
Okay.
You did.
All right,
Alright.
Points worth of Smurfs.
That's
Wait,
a
I
good
said
point.
again?
I have approximately 5,000 points worth of Smurfs.
I didn't know you had
I've never
that
seen
much.
that.
Yes. It just sits in my basement. But
But
I
you like
use
Gargamel,
these sets-
you kidnap him and throw him in
Yes.
your basement, just
Yes.
eat him later.
I
Is
have
that
a
how it
set.
works?
You know, I have a set. When I play Grey
Yeah.
Knights, I always
Ugh.
outline.
What do you do like
with
Robo
all
Girly,
points
man?
of the Ultramarines
Ugh.
versus the
He's
Tau,
cool.
where the Tau can reasonably.
But I
My
hope they, I
Ultramarine
think Dorn's
slash
cool.
Grey Knight list.
I think the Ultramarines are
Is
secretly
very
traitors.
competitive.
I think Robo
You take
Girly
the
Man's
Librarius
idea was to
Conclave,
make a
3
second
Grab
Imperium.
Centurions.
While the primary Imperium was
Make
falling,
bare
he was a
bones
fucking
scout
traitor.
squad.
Hard.
You know.
That's why he split up
That's your
the
allied
legions into
detachment, and you
chapters,
throw
not
in
so
the
that no one could
squad
bring
of
power
Drago.
together
Is
again.
that-
Because
is
that's
this
the only way
really
they
Stern
defended
Captain,
him was
this
by
is my-
bringing that
this
all
will-
that
this will
power
be my
together.
tournament list if
I think he
will
did
do
it so
go to
that
Buckeye
weakened the
Battles.
Yeah, so
Imperium,
this
so
is
in
your
the long
Buckeye
run he
Battles
can
list,
come
right?
back,
Yes.
take over.
So anybody watching from the competitive 40K group or on the competitive 40K side, we've got an event here in Ohio called Buckeye Battles, and what's the attendance like at Buckeye
Fuck is
Battles?
that? Oh, I'm not competitive.
Last year there was about between
play
40 and
competitive.
50
I'm not.
there.
That's pretty
I'm a
pretty
fun
good.
bunny.
It was very
Ohio,
good.
right?
Very good prize support. We had a lot of people come in from Indianapolis area as well.
You want beer?
And,
Yeah, dude.
Anybody here?
From,
Beer,
Cincinnati.
gentlemen?
I'll
no,
take-
good for
I'll take a beer.
soda.
From this
Soda
Great
pop?
Lakes Brewing Company,
Oh,
Dortmunder
man.
Gold. It won a gold medal. It's delicious. Were we allowed to do this? Am I cool
You
with
just
that?
did.
All right. Cool.
Why do you
Why
always ask that?
After you say it, Dortmunder, if you want to,
Anyway,
send us
If you
some,
want, I'll take a soda.
I ain't bringing.
I want one of those
Come on.
sodas.
No.
Yeah, man.
Please.
Actually, somebody was yelling
I'll take
at
a Great
Steven
Lakes
for
soda pop.
needlessly advertising for Burger King on the last battle.
Really?
Yeah,
He advertised
just
Burger
shut
King
the
and
hell
people
up.
got
He's just
mad?
saying useless crap about Burger King.
What pop do you want
Like,
there?
if I post the video on Daka, those guys get armed. They're just
I'm
like,
grabbing one
"You're
random if you
talking
don't tell me.
bullshit."
Okay, cool.
Not to down Daka. You know, a lot of they like I said, they don't have time for that BS. So, all right. So, aside from the Q&A, the profiles for the weapons. Did you guys talk about that while I was gone, absent? Did we talk about profiles?
Just touched on it just for
Profiles?
briefly.
Yeah,
for the
focused
last
on
game.
it.
How does everybody feel about that?
I like the template. I like the old school templates. I like the scattering.
I like
I understand why they eliminated it. There's a lot of argumenting on,
What's
this
under the
Marshall,
template,
what's
yeah.
under the template. And
There
if
is
it's on the middle of the table,
We have
it's hard to
You
see
gotta
with the
cap it.
angles.
I just
But
like-
I like
No.
I
the
just like
feel.
not. All right.
Yeah, I like the feel of knowing
Oh,
I
you gotta
shot
light it.
Lehman Russ, and it's going to put a big hole in the ground, and that's how I feel when I hold a template. Now I may fire Lehman Russ
I
and just
agree with that.
kill some dudes in the front.
There was a lot of tactics involved in the flame templates being a sisters player. Because you could use your rhinos to kind of corral people
stuck
closer
on the
together and get
index.
way more than D6 guys out of that template.
Well, some people seem to think this is making flamers way better. Some people think they're making them worse.
No.
I disagree.
My
don't-
question
I
is,
have
how
to
do you know what they
disagree, too.
hit? How do you know what they hit? That's what I want to know. If you're not using the template, I've only been doing it since like barely 5th, right? How do you know they're gonna hit? Like, do you just say I'm aiming this direction
Well-
and these 6 dudes get hit?
Well, we need to see what's the range on.
From my
I
understanding,
think, I think
inches.
Flamer is
Flame
8
inches.
inches.
the
Flamer
flame
was 8
template-
inches.
So you
flame
just,
template's
so you
8
just
inches.
pick dudes within 8
Pick a
inches.
unit within 8 inches.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
it's D6 automatic.
So they
hits.
get rid of the
cool.
Thor
Alright,
and
just
ability.
checking.
Yeah,
altogether.
that, for a
Which
Flamer.
still makes sense for a
I would
flamer.
imagine it would
If
just
you
be
got
an
a
extended
flamethrower
range.
and you're like,
What if there's another
flamethrower
unit
and
like
you-
within that as well? So you've got like a unit within 3 inches or like 4 inches.
It
Then you got
would be a
another
single
one.
target
Only a
Yeah.
single.
unit.
Yeah, but you can
So
hit
smaller
before.
squads are going
and
to
this-
do even better.
This
That's
this
Five
rule
man
isn't new
squads,
either.
Slow down,
Pretty
slow
much.
down, slow down, slow down. Okay, if you have 2 units, you're saying if you have 2 units,
That would both
And
be in the 8 inches.
you can only target one of them with the flame weapon, whereas before the flamer template would.
Hit whatever
everything.
it touched.
Yes.
Ooh,
I
that
don't
could
know.
be bad.
I don't like
I,
it.
I like that.
I've
one.
I've killed dozens of his Dark Eldar with Torrent Flamer.
And I've done lots of damage
Torrent.
also
Oh my
with
God,
my
dude.
flamers on multiple
Torrent.
units.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, I
because you can
probably
position
can't.
yourself to
God
hit
damn it.
multiple units
Oh,
with
damn
it.
I understand.
Now,
And everyone understands that.
The one good thing about taking the template out on the aspect of firing, you don't have to worry about
Clipping your own
clipping
guys.
your own guys.
That's true.
So that's pretty huge too.
It's
But
nice, but it takes
I would
some
be very
realism
angry
A
if
little
I
less
rolled a
realistic
1.
though.
Yeah,
for the
but
flame
it's-
weapon.
But you're not
Well,
allowed to fire if you're going to hit
yes.
your own guys. That's just one
You're not
weapon you
allowed
don't
to.
get to fire.
But that's why you have friendly fire anyway. That shit happens in battle. By
Personally,
accident.
I would cut my own men down to win my game.
If you're guard, you definitely.
You're also a psycho.
You're a man after my own heart.
That's what I never understood.
Where's
Why-
5,000 points to Smurf player.
That's why I never understood. Like
Man, why don't people like them? Oh, sorry.
like Imperial Guard, like there's a squad stuck in combat. It's like why wouldn't the commissar just lob some shells on them? It's like just kill those Zealots.
That's the
we
vibe
can,
I
we can
get
replace
from
those guys.
Yeah.
You
So
know what I mean?
what?
Oh, those are conscripts, right?
Conscripts
Fire mission. Oh, right.
I still want
Just use an orbital
I still want
bombardment.
Necromunda Jews to make
What
it
the
to
hell
a
did he
Shadow
just
War
say?
kill team. Necromunda Jews.
Oh, I thought you said
I
something else,
wanted to do
dude.
an army of child, like soldier guys.
You
I just,
bored
the
me.
ganger units,
You-
and use those for Shadow War. Speaking of older units.
I think that would be a good idea for GW to introduce the optional rules to play the old models in the new game.
Like the Necromunda stuff.
Yeah.
I loved Mordheim.
Yeah,
Which is the
oh,
fantasy-
Mordheim's great. Yeah,
I played that a lot when I was younger.
I read a lot about
I
it.
enjoyed it.
I think Forge World still sells Mordheim boards. I
They
believe.
make a game for it now, but it's not like the original Mordheim. It's a computer game. It's not the same thing as the original Mordheim. I think it's like a Diablo 2
played
almost
a game of
kind
Shadow
of.
War yet?
Really?
I have not. I've been
So
waiting
sweet,
for
actually.
it.
I played it.
That. You played. Oh,
I
that's
played
right.
you.
Yeah,
Your whole guys
Yes.
died before I even had to
Um,
shoot anything, pretty much.
Which actually, I think I have to play you next, technically, for that store campaign because I can't play John anymore because he's got 2 losses now.
Oh, did you talk about
Gotcha.
Armageddon?
Yeah,
I need
Of
to
course,
play.
of course.
I need
the,
to play someone else.
Of course, the 2 Grey Knight players were paired with each other on the first game.
Of
Oh,
course.
man, you
well,
all-
actually, we had a dumb game because not only did we
Whole
get
game's done.
toxic sludge or
Toxic.
slip,
I know
Mud.
you're not. I know.
Yeah.
and then we got
I was
ash where
playing
if a
work,
guy
so I
was
liked
down
it a
in
hell of a lot
ash, they
more, I
got
think,
out of
than
action at
Space
the end of
Marine.
the game. So like basically, I had 2 guys go down, and I bottled out, and then like I had to roll for the casualties for those guys.
I did well though. My leader gained an additional wound,
Yeah.
and I added
That's
a
good.
paladin model to my squad.
I gained an
Now
extra.
you only get them for 1 mission.
Well, it'll be the next one
Yeah.
that I play you with.
You probably will. Yeah, actually, yeah. I did get up to 8 Prometheum though, which is good because
That's great.
yeah. We got the mission where it was all
I
the loot
played
counters on the
Snipers.
board, and
I played once
John
in
was
the
playing
game.
Necrons actually, and he had to
So
take
we
a
do
bottle
play
test, and he rolls
at
a 12
12:48
on his
minutes.
leadership
That's what I
test, and
exactly.
just like decimates his leadership
Wow.
and bottles out. It was terrible.
Oh, man.
So I got, if one player bottled out, they got access to all the loot counters on the board. So it was like, I get to roll a d6, and if I rolled a 6 for each of the 4 counters, I got an additional Prometheum. So I'm like, pfft. So yeah, I racketed it up there real fast.
Nice.
Which is an interesting concept to the game. Necromunda, I think, did it better because Necromunda, the red dot sights and the lasers and the photo visors and the clips that we were talking about, that's all rare stuff. So that's how it should be, I think, in the campaign.
Gotcha.
Because when you get far enough, everyone's going to have all that gear. And then, like, I don't know, it just seems kind of weird, kind of lame. If you get 100 points to spend after every match, every guy's going to have, all of that gear already on them. I think it'd be kind of cooler to do rare kits, and then if you could make it so guys can actually lose arms, and you've got to attach bionic arms and stuff, I think that would also be.
So, getting back
That would be
to 8th edition,
Thank
Yes,
you.
let's-
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
you.
Bring us
Thank
back,
you.
Ed.
I personally I don't dislike it, but I understand why they did it. The hit values
What
on
about
the
the hit
data
values?
sheet. Well, this guy hits on a 2+ instead of having to
Oh.
calculate. That's
Ballistic
good and
skill.
bad. I mean, basically that means Gilliman, he has a 2+ hit. He hits everything in the game on 2+, which he should because
He's a Primarch.
he's a Primarch. But I'm not sure how I feel if a Marine can hit a Wraith Knight on a 3+
I
in
mean,
close combat.
I think it's simplified
Yeah, I
because
mean-
you can just add modifiers on top of it. Then, so like Wraith Knight, for example, what if it's like, what the hell shields are those called? Hoop, or like the crazy weave shields, or you can't say Mirage shield or some crazy shit like that. Or is that Titan you brought me?
That was the Titan.
That was the Titan. But anyway, so if they
All
have
we
some-
do is cast invisibility on Titans when we play a model.
Exactly, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. So in a case like that, it's like great. You usually roll a 3 up to hit a model.
Man,
It's like
man, I thought we got roasted. I just got a text from Steve. It says YouTube's not allowing people to chat. I don't know what's up with that, so I'm sorry for the 5 people we've got watching the stream right now.
Oh, 5.
if-
Oh man, we're
yeah.
popular.
We're big time up there right now, but like if you're not able to chat or whatever, sorry, but man, we're gonna get roasted in the comments afterwards. 5,000 points of Smurfs and Invisible Titans and all kinds of stuff
Well,
right here.
That's how we roll. That's how this side of the table rolls.
Okay, you're
Well,
including me.
who
Oh, man, there-
walk over
I don't
here
know,
anytime
man.
you want.
I've never
Brandon's
guessed
like,
invisibility ever.
Brandon's
We've
like,
got this
slow
weird
down,
mini
dog.
continent right here in the middle of
No.
everyone. But no, what I was saying was like, so the 3-up thing, so you can apply just direct modifiers to that. I mean, that's great. Usually hit on a 3-up. Well, my armor makes anyone shooting
Shut up,
at me at -2. You know, so I mean,
I mean,
I think that simplifies
The
it.
hit is
I
not
think
as
so.
bad.
I like it better
It's
than-
not as bad because you can't wound most of the stuff based off your strength, I guess. You know what I mean? But the hitting, I guess, I don't know how they're going to apply the after the hit the wounding stats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting.
And
That's fair.
not only
Well,
that too, but
yeah,
they
So maybe all the Marines can hit the Wraith Knight, but they can't wound the Wraith
Well, I
Knight.
assume
and that
Right.
kind of goes back to the infantrymen taking down tanks. You can hit it, but you might not wound it, or it would be
Yeah,
very
you
hard to
do it,
wound.
you know?
So it's the same argument all over
It's like
again.
a 5.56 and an Abrams. You can shoot at that for like
Okay,
20 goddamn
that
minutes
is a
straight. You're
terrible
not gonna do.
comparison, dude. That's
Why is that
terrible.
terrible?
Because a 5.56 round is nothing like anything in the 40k universe.
Well, no, I'm
Auto
using
gun.
no, I'm using general.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm using general comparison of infantryman's weapon to battle tank, regardless of universe. So now you upgrade into 40k. Now it's las gun versus
But
Lehman
again,
Russ.
to that point,
A las
if you're
gun's
using
not
an
going to do
assault
shit
rifle with
against.
armor-piercing rounds, which is common with the military, especially going against
True, armor-piercing rounds though aren't
You're
going to
gonna
do much to a
damage
tank.
tank.
It's a 5.56.
Yeah,
That's
but
all
if
I'm
you-
saying.
Yeah, but if you had like, but we're talking in terms of like an army march. Like if you had 60 dudes shooting armor-piercing rounds at a tank, I promise you, it's going to do something to that vehicle.
Not depending on the
Like-
caliber. It's
I
not
mean,
gonna
I
matter.
carry depleted
You shoot a
uranium
9
rounds
mil-
wherever I go.
Yeah, exactly.
So just
Right.
in case there's a
You
land
shoot a
right
9mm
I'm
AP.
good.
You shoot
I've got
100
boxes
9mm
of,
APs.
hollow
Like,
points in my
Yeah,
closet.
you can hit certain
Yep.
things.
You know.
dude, but you got to be hitting
Well,
constant.
again, it's going to be
insane-
it's,
yeah.
it's going to be ridiculous. But
Yeah,
you can
I mean,
definitely
it's,
hit.
it's
like,
humanly
view,
possible.
You can hit
but-
viewports.
What
There's
else?
different
What
but
else
things.
did we
it's
see?
so, it's gonna be so different.
Okay, new race. What's going to be the new race?
Wait, there's a new race.
Yeah.
Oh
Is
my
there?
god!
Okay.
Really, man?
There's
Yes.
there's a new
What do you mean,
faction.
really, man? I don't pay
Depends on how
attention
they
to
how you interpret
Faction,
faction.
when you say-
Is it mean faction that's getting brought back that hasn't had new rules?
Squats?
Squats.
No,
oh,
don't even start with
oh,
squats.
You're gonna hear
Oh,
squats. We're getting
that'd be
squats.
nice.
I mean, all you got to do is take the
Cadrian overlords.
and put some guns on them.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like a
Well,
a
The
new?
mold process would be not so bad.
Anon says probably gonna be a table where strength 4 against a toughness 10 will acquire a 6+ followed by a 4+.
So that's
Okay.
kind of like what Hoop was talking
That's
about.
exactly what
Yeah.
Hoop was
There's
talking
going to be
Yeah.
something
I'm
else.
not going to admit.
Well,
that
he
Hoop
didn't
was
say
right on
4 up.
that.
He
I-
said
I
like
figured you
6
would.
up.
but-
Right.
Because that pistol should still not be pulling that off on
Yeah,
another 4.
so I still don't like
it's- Yeah.
You still don't
I don't
like
like even the chance that's going to happen.
For
So,
some of them.
I mean, I get
yeah.
it, but
I mean, in my world, I would just throw a grenade down the
You don't
barrel
think
on
it makes
every
for
tank
more
I
fun
want
Thank
to
you.
across.
There you go.
Easier said than done.
Climb up.
Hamper,
Yeah.
I can
That's what your
relent
assaults
that
are
it
for.
might hamper.
That's true.
It
That's
from a
also why you
competitive
surround tanks with
stance a little.
infantry, so that exact shit can't happen.
But you know, I don't know. I think
it might be more fun for those people who don't think of the composition very well. You know, they bring all bolters and then they go up against
but to be fair, that's
AdMech. Yeah,
most players.
not most players that I
What?
play.
I bring anti-armor in just about everything.
I take
Yeah,
all
just in
troops.
case.
I've never,
Yeah.
ever,
Guns,
ever
melted.
taken
Something,
yeah.
more than troops.
Grab.
in
It's
an
not a
HP.
point of
Yeah.
Gotta
not
bring it.
not taking all troops. It's a point of not having the right tools to deal with the situation. I take an
Oh, sure.
all-comers army, but not everybody does that because infantry is so common now. People tool up their army. The current meta
Now,
usually
Well,
goes
the
against
owner,
infantry.
the owner of one of the shops we go to very frequently, he talks about Jamie. Actually, he talks about
Let's say do a
building
shout
an
out to Coffee
all-comers-
House.
all-comers list. I told him I don't really think that's was possible in 7th edition. That you were able to really
Yeah.
build an all-comers list. I didn't think that was the thing, really.
You can build
My
close.
Dark Eldar list was pretty all comers. It
Yeah.
was. I don't break it out very often, but then again, I'm not at the shop very
Well, and
often.
I don't play Eldar, so maybe
God,
that's
it's
just
so
Eldar, all you gotta do is
Dark
take
Eldar,
3.
not Eldar.
Oh,
Dark
Oh,
Eldar.
oh, okay.
I was gonna
cool.
say Eldar, all you
Okay.
gotta do is take 3 units of something and get plus
Yeah.
one ballistic skill.
But can you make it?
Oh darn!
Can you make it take all
Now
armor
my
Space
entire
Marines?
formation is plus
Yeah.
one
So
ballistic
you can
skill.
make
If I take
Space
this
Marines
guy,
kind
get
of
your rear armor
competitive. You can make
from
them
the
kind
front.
of put some cheese.
Oh my
in
It'll,
God.
it will be. I will be curious to
That's
see
all that is.
how the balancing rules do, because they claim they balanced it, but in my experience of playing, it's never been a balanced game, in my opinion. There's
No.
never been a point in the
That's
game
fair.
where I
Yeah,
felt
that's
all armies
entirely
were
fair.
created equal.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, now in the tournament scene, Eldar is very good and consistently good and can consistently win. Space Marines wins too, but they have to take ridiculous stars from different factions
Well,
in
Death
order.
Stars are dying.
I know, but this is what I'm getting
Thank
at with the
goodness
tournament
that
scene.
lore wise is bullshit.
Space Marines in general would
Absolute
have to
bullshit.
take ridiculous stars to
Yeah.
consistently beat an Eldar army that's just taking stuff out, Eldar stuff.
Right.
Now you have to take everybody on Thunderwolves
That's
with
fair.
grav cannons,
Right.
and in order to beat an Eldar army,
And
which
I
I
think-
think is absolutely insane.
I think that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
That's fair.
Our Anon viewer says that yearly update of General's Handbook will be helping with balancing as well.
Thank you for him mentioning that, because that would
yeah,
be great.
Which is a good point, actually.
That would be
so
great.
yearly update with like the core or the General's
Yeah.
rule. I think that will help with balancing. So that'll give everyone time to play these
Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
and also play them in a competitive setting. And then come back and look at it and be like, well, what really works? What list kind of came out of that? I mean, people are gonna find kind of going. I want to go back a little bit to what we were talking about earlier. I think that sort of like Magic. If you really look at Magic at a Grand Prix, and you're talking about like an event with 3,000 people, most of those people aren't playing their deck correctly. All right, I would wager a 40K, even a competitive tournament, is probably the same thing. Okay, most people aren't playing that army to full efficiency. They're just not. Theoretically.
A lot of stuff gets
There-
forgotten.
Now,
too.
a lot of the top tier
Rule-wise.
players,
Yeah.
players who practice all the time, have read, like they wake up and they just read and read and read and read and read and read, and they math it out and they study it and consistently do it and they do it every day. They take time out of their day and they put that work in for that. They are going to do well, but the vast majority of people, promise you, aren't going to be able to do that. So they're not going to be playing those armies to full, competitive efficiency. It's just not a thing. I think that's a fair statement to make. So, seeing where all of that comes out of what people are going to do, and I don't know. I don't know if there's really ways that people could break the game.
There's always a way to break
There's
the
always
game.
going to be a
Somebody
way,
will
but
find something.
We're a bunch of
to-
nerds, dude. Someone's gonna figure it out.
Yeah,
Like,
somebody's gonna find a build a list that is just like 8th edition. I'm a
It's like that dude putting his social security number on the internet and saying you can't steal my identity, and that lasted all about a week. So
I mean, if the balancing rules
that ain't
do
gonna
work
happen, man.
like they say they're going to, this would benefit GW in the end.
Fair.
Because now, not everybody's rushing out to buy, they're looking on the forums, Blood of Kittens or whatever, see Adepticon, see which lists win, and then they go out and rush out and buy all that stuff because it's winning.
Mhm.
If it's more balanced and anybody can beat anybody, they will sell. I feel they'll sell
myriad
more.
of models.
Yeah.
Which is great because then you get more casts done, you get a larger variety of casts, you spread your prices out. That'd be fucking wonderful.
not only that too, but then it make the games more interesting because you don't go into I'm going to play a pickup game, or you show up at the hobby shop, you play a pickup game, and so it's like, oh, I got Space Wolves, you want to play, and you know what list they're going to bring. Or
Yeah.
this is I play this army, and you know what list they're going to bring. If things are
Are
a
you
lot more,
riding wolves today?
if things are more balanced, you're going to see more variety to make it more
People
fun.
complain about list tailoring. I don't really care about list tailoring.
Yeah.
That doesn't-
Yeah.
Now, okay, I know you
Why
guys
is
are
that?
not, you guys are not gonna like that. Okay, so just
I
give you an
don't
example.
care.
If I'm
List tailoring.
America,
Yeah, I don't give a
if
shit.
I'm America,
Leave America out of this. Is 40K.
if I'm America,
No,
and I'm
no,
about to
dude.
go blast the shit out of
Another
another
country.
country,
Can we not
I know
use-
who I'm blasting, and I know what I need to defeat them.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Eldar or the Space Marines, they're not going to jump into a fight and not know who they're fighting.
What if
That's
you,
not
what,
how wars happen.
What if your staged game is in the middle of a campaign already, where an army's already been deployed, and you have access to anything you want from a roster to bring in?
Okay.
That's a rare occasion.
I'm just saying, dude.
Rare.
I'm just
I
saying.
mean, if I'm going to war, I know who I'm killing.
Who?
But that's not.
You.
Tau.
Tau, I don't care. I don't discriminate.
Anon says that using the balancing is going to be encouraging people to play underused armies, essentially.
Yeah, no.
Which
I hope so. I
agree
hope
with.
to see orcs
Yeah.
come back.
You know,
Orcs.
I want to see that.
Orcs need
occur.
to come back.
The
I think
wow.
the orcs will come back.
Oh, the orcs are never coming back, fellas.
You go to hell. You go to hell and you die.
They just are back.
You play Smurfs. No one cares what you think.
My Smurfs will kill orcs.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Orcs are fun to kill.
Now, I
want more
do
people
have
to
something
play.
I
Orcs are fun.
want to ask about that and might take us to the next point here, is the lack of an initiative stat. Now,
I like that.
so
I like it.
That's not
Now-
new.
well, it's not
like
new,
it. So
but
they-
my question would be, now they've said that whoever charges gets the first swing.
Super great.
makes
Skyhammer
sense.
Annihilation
No, I
Force.
agree.
Well, that's good on the charge, but then they haven't said how it continues on after the charge. Is it going to be whoever got the charge always goes first? Is it going to be even?
Maybe it's just every other charge and then next.
Well, we
and
don't
then
know what's
charge
going to
and
happen. A big thing with that is we don't know what's going to happen with formations.
I think formations are
repeatedly
gone.
spammed it in. No, they're
No,
not.
they're
Are
not.
they?
going
Oh, I
to
was
be
really
bigger and
hoping
better
they'd
than
get rid of
ever.
them.
Well,
Oh,
they have the
no.
different forces,
He
but I
said
don't
this on
know.
purpose because he doesn't want formations to go away, and I agree with that because
No,
but they-
formations suck.
formations are great.
Formations.
I love
The
formations.
number
Oh.
one reason why formations exist in this game is to sell models.
Yes.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
That's it.
I went
true.
out and I
Yeah.
bought 10 drop pods
I
and
can admit
7
with that,
Razorbacks.
but that still
because
sucks.
I get free drop pods and Razorbacks.
Right.
Yep.
Well, formations encourage you to play the fluffy way, but some
No, the
formations
fluffy
are
way.
similar. Yes and no.
The fluffy
No,
way
Yes,
you make
they
yourself.
make the fluffy way, and then you pick the best one, and
But
then you
not all
and then you run
formations are
duplicates.
created equal.
If you
Some
could
are
make-
really
Close.
better.
If you could
No,
make
but
your
you
own
can't,
formation,
Jake.
if they gave you a table where you could craft your own formations, I would agree with you entirely with the fluffy way, 100%.
Yeah, but you
But
can't
they
tell
don't.
me that the Skyhammer Annihilation Force, while cheesy, isn't extremely fluffy space.
It is.
It is
Yeah,
entirely fluffy
that's how
because that's
it's
shit.
supposed to be.
That's shit they
Right.
should be able to do, but I shouldn't need to look to a formation to be able to do that. That should just be, hey, guess what, dude? We're Space Marines. We hit you out of a drop pod. We're trained to assault you out of a drop pod. So
Okay,
guess
so
what? We
by
can
your
assault you out of a
logic,
drop pod.
without a formation, they should just be able to get their Hammer Wrath attacks. They should be able to assault turn
No,
one.
leave the- no,
And
the
they
ham-
should be able to choose when
the
the
Hammer
drop
of
pods
Wrath-
come in whenever they want.
the Hammer of
'Cause that's
Wrath-
what that means, just so you're aware.
No, the Hammer of Wrath is just a little bit of extra cherry on the top for it. The whole ability that should be there in the first place that you don't need a formation for is assaulting out of a drop pod. That
Assault-
should be
turn
there
one,
already.
Turn one, right?
Yeah, that
You
should be
think
there
Marines should
already.
just do that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
100%.
You think people bitch about Marines now?
That would really unbalance the game.
How would that unbalance the
Because
game?
everybody would take drop pods and everybody would assault on turn 1.
People would be pissed.
Yeah, that would
There-
be
That
there
would
would-
cripple our. Not that
there would
I'm
be-
not opposed to LR just dying all the time.
There
I'm
would
not
be no
inconsistent.
shooting army anywhere. Because
Right now, though, they did say they
But
were
you
going
can
to
only
make
do half
melee.
on
here's the
one.
thing.
So if
They
you
were
bring
trying to
4, you're
balance the
dropping
melee
in 2.
armies, which is a good thing because currently I play Tyranids with guns. I
Anonymous
shouldn't
Jacob.
have to play.
Well, here's
Thank
the,
you, Anon.
Well, here's
Thank you.
Well, here's the thing.
I
though.
shouldn't have to play Tyranids with guns.
If you want to play more fluffy,
Wait,
play narrative.
what? What?
When I played Tyranids back in 3rd
if
edition,
you want to do that, play narrative.
I wouldn't even imagine
That's
putting
it,
a gun
exactly.
on a Tyranid. They had
They're-
Stallion Talons
they're
and Running
bio
Balls.
guns. That's the thing.
It's no. I run Hive Tyrants with Twin Link Devour and Brainly Schworms. That's it. I run Carnifexes with Twin Link Devour and Brainly Schworms.
Because
Yeah,
that's
but-
what we
Because
do in
it's so
our
good.
game.
I don't
Yeah,
run this. I should,
yeah,
but to me, that
yeah.
army is more of an assaulting army than a
It
shooting
is.
army. It should not be played
should
as a
be.
shooting
I
army.
kind of
I agree.
agree with that, but
I kind of think for Tyranny it goes both ways because they breed what's best for them. So if they need something to
Yeah.
shoot something,
Yeah.
they just breed the most accurate thing in existence.
I think guns.
That's
should
not
be
how
able
the
to
Tyranids
damage.
work.
Well,
Isn't that how they
up
work?
until
Remember
last
that game in our
edition,
first game?
Tyranids were not
Yeah.
a shooting
I had all
army
those
at all.
guns that couldn't
But that's what I'm
turn.
saying.
Because
If
my
they're
armor value.
close,
Armor
yeah.
value.
If they're an
yeah.
army that evolves their
That's
tactics
tough.
constantly, almost like
Well,
Borg,
I didn't
except
really think it
organic,
was
wouldn't they
that
be able to
bad,
breed
but-
something that's like a
That
perfect
game
marksman?
wasn't.
Yeah.
Basically,
You would think-
but what
you
I'm
know, if I
saying
went
is
up
though the
against the
game
leader
was not
Rusties,
designed.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
the guns can't
orcs,
kill a drop pod.
Tyranids,
I
armies
guess,
like
yeah.
that are
That's
supposed
bad.
to be
Yeah,
melee
orcs should not be
heavy.
shooting.
No.
They can
But they're
shoot.
fun to shoot.
I mean,
They
they're
can shoot
so-
all day.
they're
But that
so
should
They're
not be their
supposed to
main
shoot
focus.
and
No,
to
but
cover
there's-
themselves until they get into
Yes.
melee. That's not supposed to be the main
Yeah.
focus.
Yeah.
But right now the meta
Which I
is
agree, but it's still fun as
shooting.
hell to just shoot with a bunch of
Well,
guns.
it's
It really
shooting
is.
psychic power.
Right now,
That's
as
the
in
meta.
like the next 2 weeks. Is right now.
Now, as Brandon was saying, a lot of formations are definitely not created equally, like the Riptide Wing. Oh darn. I get a benefit to take 3
I'm having a heart attack right now.
Riptides
You're
are
fine.
gross. Riptides are gross already.
But they're 135 points. Are you kidding me?
But
Are you kidding me?
No, I agree. They're undercosted.
They're way more after you put
Undercosted?
real stuff on
Yeah.
them.
Well, they're
Oh
about
my
like
God.
200 points if
Yeah,
you're,
they're
if you're doing
2-something.
stim injectors and everything.
Yeah. Which, why wouldn't you?
Which you want to.
Yeah.
So what you're telling
Why
me
wouldn't
is,
you?
with that little 5-point gun they have, you can still get them for 135 just for a goddamn Riptide for 135.
No guns. Comes with no guns. You have to buy all the guns.
I mean,
Is it more? Is it more
100
than 135?
I think
we're
it's
getting
more than
corrected again.
135.
Riptide is 180. You said.
180.
So, yeah, that's-
okay.
that's-
Okay.
My bad, but that's still ridiculous. That's cheaper than
But
land rate.
just in the
Like,
tournament,
that's-
215 points with feel no pain.
going
which
back,
is referring to stimulant injection.
going back to the formation thing though, if you look at a lot of the tournament lists, they were playing Space Marines with a Riptide Wing or Eldar with
What?
a Riptide Wing.
Yes,
that
that's-
tells
Wait,
you
what?
that
Yes,
all
everybody was taking Riptide.
that all
You can do that?
formations
Yes.
are
Yeah.
not created.
What the hell heresy is that shit?
Oh yeah,
Like,
I
It's
saw
just
what is
one
that?
item allies. You just
What
put them
is
next to
that?
each other.
Chaos Renegades, Plague Zombies, and a Riptide Wing. Yeah. it's
Yeah,
bad.
Plague Zombies was a thing. Plague Zombies was still a thing.
I don't want to
LVO
live on this planet
2016.
anymore,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean,
Like,
I
straight
give-
up
I
that
give
beat.
those
What
big
the
artillery
fuck?
guns.
world
I
am
give
living in?
GW props. They really wanted to move Riptides. They did.
They did.
Okay, yeah, for money, that's
There was
great,
actually
but
a
still.
girl who walked up to the Frontline Gaming booth. Well, I was buying a Riptide because they were only $62. I only paid $62. I'm like, this is great. And this girl got wrecked. She got her shit wrecked, and she bought the rest of the Riptides. Bought 5 of them. And I was just like, that. One
She
happy
just sold her
customer
soul
walking
to the
away
devil.
there.
That's what she did.
She had sold her soul to the devil. Mini Wargaming Dave would agree with you. He thinks they're terrible. He's
Well,
not
he sounds like a
at all.
smart man because Riptides are terrible.
They are.
I hate Riptides so much.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I
play
love
whatever-
shooting Riptides at you.
Play whatever
I know
wanna
you
play.
do.
I'm sure you
Just
do.
Yeah.
people agree upon what you're going to play.
Yeah.
Play whatever you want to play. Just agree upon what you're going to play.
And I'd love that, but there's
And
a
8th
problem
edition
is
is
that
set up
usually
like that.
doesn't happen, you know?
Who
With the
are
actually, you know what? I'll
playing,
take that
man?
back. With the
I
shop
mean-
that we've been at, sometimes it'll happen. You'll still run into people that are like, "Hey, man, you know, oh, you're bringing a fluff list. That's great. Well, here's my tourney list." And you're like,
I haven't seen you play 40K the last like 6 times I've been there.
For the
It's
record,
usually
though,
are there late.
my
When I
lists.
played, it's on. When I play, it's like Sundays.
For the record, though, my lists are not full-blown tourney lists. They
I'm
are
sorry
very
you drop. I'm
good.
sorry you drop out one unit from it and leave the rest of the cheese.
Hey,
I'm sorry. You
I'm just saying, if I play a friendly game, which is against,
That is not a friendly game.
Friendly.
That is
which
not
is
a
not
friendly
against
game.
him
What?
or Dallas, I will not bring a star. I don't do that. Now I might
Yeah,
take.
I've never seen Ed play. To be fair, I've never seen Ed run a Death Star. I don't know if Brandon's ever seen him not run a Death Star.
Brandon's seen a
Well,
Paladin
yeah,
star.
Paladin star,
That's
but-
not as bad as the crazy. He's seen the Paladin star.
Well, Drago Star is pretty nasty.
Drago star.
Are you
Great.
fucking
Sorry,
kidding me?
Drago.
Are you fucking kidding? Damn it! I probably can't say that. But Drago Star. What
Drago-
the hell, man?
Drago with brother Stern Captain Stern.
Oh, and Tigurius.
And Tigurius and 2 other
I need
librarians
to go
and
take
3
a shower just
Grand
sitting in the
Centurions.
same room as
That's
you.
my
It's so dirty. Like, are you kidding me right
He's
now?
so triggered. I love it. He's so triggered. Oh man, it's so good.
I don't usually.
Okay, Gretchen Forrest says,
Oh, God.
to hell with this notion that some things are unfriendly. The game will be balanced on a yearly basis. So I think what Gretchen's trying to say is quit your bitching. We're going to get the yearly balancing from Games Workshop. And to be fair, we're all kind of being still speculative at this point.
Fair, but we
No.
can bitch all we want. That's our right.
The whole thing
Hey,
is
I
speculative.
personally don't care. I mean, I want the game to be balanced, but I'll play whatever's winning. If I have to.
You would say that. God damn it.
Front
You
line.
would say.
I love it.
I know, right?
This is great. We got to get you guys on the same.
Oh, see, I'm more of a
What's
fun,
that fence
fluffy
I can
player
walk
as well
on?
for the most part.
The only thing
It's like-
fluffy about me is me.
You are very fluffy.
What are you saying, Hoop?
You're a very cuddly man.
Like-
I'll
You
give
said
you
you
that.
liked models.
Like, to my point, like, I had a Necron... When I first started playing back in 5th edition, I started with a Necron army because I liked the fluff. Now, anyone who remembers Necrons in 5th ed remembers that they were absolute garbage. But as soon as their new book hit, I actually ended up selling mine because I didn't like the way that they played anymore. And they ended up being the next power list. Now, I, to a degree, regret that because I enjoyed painting the models and I liked the army the way it looked. But, like, whenever Wraith Knights became the big thing, personally I stopped playing mine because it wasn't fun to me anymore, because most of the time I play pickup games. And in a pickup game, I didn't want to be like, hey, you want to play a game? Yeah, sure. I'd play Eldar. They're like, oh, how many Wraith Knights do you have? You know, that's not the question that I want to run into all the time. So every time I say, I'm not bringing one, then it ends up being a more fun game. But I play for that quiet. I know what's coming. Now, once
what's coming is I don't have a Wraith Knight, but I have 2 Wave Serpents full of D size. That's what's coming.
No.
I have 3 squads.
Oh, it's only
I have
one.
3 squads of
you
Dark
insane.
Reapers.
Okay.
Or nope, only one. But no, I play. You know, I tend to bring all lists. You know, that's I like trying to play a well balanced army for fun. Now, if it's a actual tournament, then I might throw the Wraith Knight in. But at the same time, no, you don't. I've won plenty of tournaments as Eldar without a Wraith Knight. So
Eldar is broken.
Well,
but that's Eldar.
yeah.
The other thing
You
though
guys are
too
both right. I mean, there's really
is
not an argument. You could appreciate
No,
it.
you can
Right.
win. You can win tournaments, especially objective-based tournaments. The Wraith Knight really
it doesn't help you.
It will do some damage and tie some stuff up, but
I mean, like,
ultimately
I-
the bite. To me, the biggest thing with the Eldar is the bikes. The scatter lasers on every bike should not exist. It should be 1 per 3, as it used to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
what is
I
it?
can
90
see
points for 3 with scatter lasers.
And they
That's
shoot-
better than
and they
any
shoot 36,
5-man.
right? 36 range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
move. They can jet bike move too afterwards. So they get in range, fire, and then they move out of
The
range.
guy at the Games Workshop store told me how they function.
Yeah.
And before I bought an army, I'm like, well, this sounds like a good army to play. But yeah, no, Anand said game balance had issues before due to lag between the codex update, model creation of 3+ years typically. So that's also a fair statement.
That is a fair statement.
I mean, did you guys see that they're going to issue vouchers now for if you buy a codex, the 8 weeks before the game comes out, they're going to actually have vouchers that you can do that with.
They have a release date?
Sometime this
Gretchen
year.
Forrest said, "Is that kid in the corner wearing prison pants?"
No, they're just orange shorts. I got them on sale.
Stand up.
They're just shorts, man.
Okay.
He was.
$5. I think I got
I
them
better
on-
not say it. I was gonna say it.
What were they
hey.
going to say?
No, Brian, no. We have to be careful.
Yeah.
I don't want YouTube to take away my funding license.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We're being good right now.
Yeah, we're being good to that.
I've got to put the cap on there. Which, by the way, to everyone else watching that, I think that's totally crap. If it was, my way or the highway, I'd be like, I don't care what people say, whatever. I'm a free speech absolutist, but
He'll tell you.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
repeatedly until you
And-
agree or leave the room, and then he'll still yell after you.
We gotta unfortunately be careful. But yeah, so I don't know. I think that's all. I think it's all gonna be good change. I think the structure of how they set up games is gonna be good. The fact that they've got the 3 different ways to play, I think is gonna be. I honestly think it's gonna be perfect. And people who have been in this long before me, before they started coming down on like bit sales and everything on people, and sort of hampering that when GW was in its real litigious phases. People doing that, because the spiky bits guys, longwear guys, that's how they made all their money is, from doing stuff like
Right.
that. People were able to get kits. Some people consider that a golden age of like 40K and Games Workshop, but I really think that if they keep doing what they're doing, they keep up the community interaction that they've done, that people could think of tabletop wargaming like that again. I think that is possible, and I think that I don't know. I really think that they've got something going with the way that they're going to structure these new games.
8th edition is really going to be the litmus test for how well they actually are listening. A lot of people are championing
like
this
that.
new, you know, I guess regime, ownership, whatever you want to look at it as really, as really
So
being,
true.
really being community oriented and community driven. And yes, they are doing a lot. They're listening to a lot of people. They took our input on the fact that they released for 7th edition, and now supposedly they're listening to all of that and creating 8th edition. And I think it's really going to be the test to see, is it really just lip service, or is it actually going to be a true, you know, this is what you guys want, and balance it. Now the flip side of that is you're not going to please everybody, and what some
No,
people
that's-
want,
Yeah, you
what
can't.
right,
You can't.
but what a lot of people want is for their thing to be the best. And so there's going to be, regardless of how it turns out,
Someone's going to be upset.
someone's going to be upset, and unless you look at it entirely objectively, which some people can and most people can't,
That's also fair. That's also fair.
I mean,
it's going to be. I've been more excited about 8th edition than I have for anything GW's released in a while, and I know whenever it was first mentioned and the first things came out, everybody was up in arms about it, but you know, it's also extremes. Like they're either you're for GW or against GW, and you know there's hardly a middle ground with a lot of people, and so you're not going to please anyone, or you're not going to please everyone, but really, a lot of people just bitch to bitch.
Yeah.
Anon says he wants his pieces to be the absolute worst, so he has to work extra hard to win.
And you know, I
Anon's
will
a hardcore motherfucker.
I will say to that, that's why I picked up Dark Eldar.
Yes.
I picked up Dark Eldar because they are incredibly difficult to win with.
Let's face
But they
it.
are so.
You picked
Dark
up Dark
Eldar?
Eldar to ally with Eldar.
Actually, no, I didn't.
Oh.
I have never run
I've
those
seen
two
some
together.
of those formations.
You just say all the dumbest shit. Man.
No.
Like, you just say
Like, if anyone knows,
I feel like, okay, I have to point out, I feel like sometimes when Ed says something, Brandon politely disagrees. Jake vehemently disagrees and says, fuck you. And then,
I just roll my eyes.
And then Brian's over here like, well, actually.
But no, like I picked up Dark Eldar a few years ago just because it was a difficult army to play, unless you went first apparently. But also, I like running lists that aren't typical. Like whenever Tau first came out with their update and everything was gunline, 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 I ran mostly suits to play guerrilla style tactics, short range suits. To play guerrilla style with Dark Eldar. I do have gunboats, but that's not the main focus of my army. It's
I do remember that playing against you with Tau,
Mhm.
because we played a game. It was like one of the first games we played. Everybody was using the gun lines, and then you actually started moving. I'm like, wait, what are you doing?
yeah.
You're like, oh no, I'm moving. I'm just playing this differently. I was like, okay, cool. About time someone did something different.
But that's kind of one of the things that I'm hopeful for in 8th edition was it'll allow a larger variety in armies even within the same faction, so that you get a little more variety, so that you know there will still be the Tau gun line, but there will also be mobile suits. There might be
Bring them Bespin back.
God forbid a resurgence of
suits anyway.
right. But God forbid a resurgence in Dark Eldar witches, actually being able to do
shit,
something, But if they're faster, or even go to the Tyranid Hormagaunts, nobody uses Hormagaunts because they're absolutely garbage, except for a meat shield.
Well, I that's all I've got. I mean, that's all I really have in my army.
I have 80 Hormagaunts.
I have a shit ton
Oh,
too.
I think
have
Amanda has.
120.
Yeah, I think Amanda has 120.
Jesus,
I've got,
holy shit!
yeah. Well, I remember I kept just shitting about on the board.
Yeah.
It was like, this is a lot of guys. Like,
Yeah, it was.
Actually, to that game, that was the first game of 40K I ever played with Brandon, and he kept all his Dark Eldar in reserve, which is weird to me. So I'm like, this is a weird game. Okay, my first ever game of 40K. I'm like, I read this thing where I can like crush his line, and then if the turn ends, he just loses. But I don't think I was like in a position to do that.
No, because I had my guys pretty far back
Yeah.
and hidden.
You did realize the power of the Devil Gaunt, though.
Power of the Devil Gun is strong.
The
Yeah.
Devil Gun should never
Volume
be.
of Fire. That's my MO.
And Devil
Yeah.
Guns are going to
That's
get better
seventh
with the,
edition right there.
with
What
the
are you
toughness
talking
value.
about? That's why you can't
Devil
use
Guns are going to
Terminators
get better
ever
with the
as volume
toughness
of fire.
value
Yeah.
thing.
And not only that too, but they were saying, what was it, that Eldar are going to be really fast, and so something else, but Hormagaunts are going to be faster than both. So I mean,
That might not.
When
that,
I
that
played-
makes sense.
what
Again,
was that, third edition
Tyranids.
when
You're
we
making
played
the
it
best
on?
Yeah.
goddamn thing you can.
When
from
I
that
played-
hive mind.
if
when
you've
I-
got a little squishy dude that's only good at close combat, he better be fast, otherwise
That's
he ain't going to
exact-
make it.
but that's what I mean. Also, again, the Tyranid idea. You're making the supreme life form you can about what's available to you.
Well, it's also how
So-
you tool your army. There's a reason
I mean,
why they make
fluff-wise. I'm
venom.
not. I'm not talking.
There's a reason why they make venom throws to make the Gormagons more survivable. That's why they're there.
Well, no, I'm
But-
just talking about the.
but when I
Hormagaun
played in
itself.
third edition,
Yeah,
If I march 60 Hormagons at you, you better kill the Gaunts. You might ignore them and shoot my big monsters.
They'd be
my
able
high-
to assault you to death.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Gaunts
yeah.
will
There's
kill.
just too many
just about
attacks
anything.
coming in. What are you
With
gonna
toxin sacks and everything back
do?
then.
Weight of fire,
Yeah,
man.
not now. I mean,
No,
like the
they got
fact,
poison though. If you pay the points,
so
it's
like
very
that,
pricey.
that
though.
game I played with Amanda,
Mhm.
and it was funny because I had no idea what she was bringing. I expected her to bring a bunch of flyers and like
And
some
she hates
advanced
flyers.
bullshit.
Hey.
Well, I just expected it
All
because
right.
like you got to take it to make Tyranids really like a good quote unquote good though, right? So that's what I expected her to bring. So I wasted my points into 3 of those turrets that like from Forge World. I
Right.
wasted points on those. They didn't do anything. I was like snap shooting stuff, but I dropped my drop pods with the force over on her side of the board, and I felt bad because then they blocked the objectives, and her gaunts could not kill the drop pods. That's terrible. Gaunts should be able to kill drop pods. So back to that, everything can damage everything. Thank God.
If you
because
can get inside and get to the vital components. If you can't, then I don't agree.
you don't agree that gaunts should
No,
be able
if
to
you,
kill
I
a
just
drop
said
pod?
if you can get inside and damage the vital components, then I agree. If you're hitting the
It's
outside,
an open-top vehicle. I mean,
Yeah.
when it's closed up, though, it's not. I would.
But
say
it's
Yeah, but
you're
once
never
it
gonna
hits
run
the
into
ground,
it
it's
close.
open.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's never running into
Yeah.
Well, no, isn't there a drop pod that stays? It's a dreadnought drop pod.
Now,
There's one that
it's
stays.
in
still
my
technically
defense,
open.
though,
Is it?
my
Okay.
Tyranid,
Oh, my bad.
my
Okay.
Tyranid army
Mine-
is the least cheesy out of all my armies. I do not take the 5 flyer
Yeah, but that's
list
not
with the muculid
you
spores
gotta be
and
fair.
stuff like that.
The
I
least
take
cheesy
2.
of all your armies. like, what's that concept?
I personally love
Yeah.
the
That is a fair
Exocrine model. I love Biovores. Not a lot of people play those.
Yeah.
I mean, and I do also have another build where it's Swarm, where I take 2 Turvagons and tons of little troops. But I never have fielded.
You're not a little troop kind of guy yet.
No.
You're just not.
I like playing big monsters, but little troops do have their advantages,
Yeah.
especially against Grav.
Yeah,
Well,
against Grav.
I
they
mean,
Well,
might-
everyone gets sad about the one thing Space Marines have. The one
Steven argues with
thing.
me that
No,
Grab is not as good as I think it is, but I think Grab's super good.
Grav is amazing.
Grav is very good against what people normally take now.
Yes.
Against
That's why
orcs,
everyone
against
thinks it's
Gene
great.
Stealer
I
cult,
mean, I think
stuff
it does
like
be
that.
good
It's not
against.
very
I think
good.
it does
Even
be good
against guard, it's really
Yeah. I
not
think
all
it
that
does be
great.
good
'cause,
against
oh,
Tau.
you need a
You
6
know, I'll
to
take
immobilize.
that.
But
My-
against Riptides and crazy big Eldar shit, of course it's great. But that's
Right.
again, you know,
But-
And it's-
we
again,
found
that's-
one weapon that's good against the big thing in meta, and everyone's mad that it's good against the big
And
thing
that's
in meta.
why I don't play
Oh,
those
there.
kind of lists, is because, you play Space Marines, you load up on Grav,
Yeah.
so I'll take troops
I don't
to
use
have
that.
fun.
They still wound on a 3.
I don't
though.
even-
True.
That's
I've
pretty
used
good.
Grav in
Yeah.
one,
And you
I
don't
used
get an armor
Grav
save.
in
Yeah.
one game, and
Yeah, but they are
and
kind of
I
wasted.
forced 7 wounds, and he made 5 involved
My-
saves on it. I've never used Grav since. So everyone's like, Grav is
My-
insane. It's like the one time I've used it was awful. So I don't
When
know
you
what you're talking
when
about.
you pair them with the psychic powers, which you should,
I don't bring ciphers in my chapter.
a 3-man Devastator Centurion squad that's twin linked with rerollable to wounds
I don't
will
use
kill anything in the game.
But I don't use Centurions either because I don't like
I
them.
have-
I made somebody
I use them
mad
all the
because I said
time.
Warhammer Fantasy Battles.
I
is
like
crap.
him. I like him for tabletop, but for lore wise, I
Warhammer
hate
Fantasy?
him. I
Yeah.
hate
It's
the
not
whole
worth
idea.
It was
I said
dying.
it
That's
was
why
dying.
they made
I said
it
was
Because
a
I probably
second
put
game.
Marines in
Somebody
there
who
training
got
to
mad
get
on
used to
the
the power
podcast.
armor.
when I said that.
Well, I mean, it's
I
just
think.
The
That's how
original
Devastators
fantasy before they changed it to Sigmar was.
That's why they're always.
I know, that's why I said
Yeah.
we
They
disagree.
used to-
fair.
Local game
just-
stores
they
can
were just-
attest
That's
to
what I
that
mean. Like, we're
because
putting them in the
they
Centurion.
were
I
selling
don't know,
all
it's
their
just-
models
it's a dumb
for
model.
35.
It doesn't make sense,
$40.
no.
I don't know.
They
I
were
was,
sitting
Yeah,
on
Well, how else-
I
You're
was a
already in
fantasy
power
player
armor,
ever,
why are you
long
in
before
power?
I was a 40K player. I started
Why wouldn't
playing
you just be
fantasy
inside that
way
bigger
back,
suit of
like
power
4th
armor
edition fantasy.
without your normal
Yeah.
So that's a long
Yeah.
time ago. I played fantasy for almost 10 years.
I mean, I get
Yeah,
it.
that was
I
like when I was
respect
a
that.
freshman.
do.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, it was
Yeah.
good. It was really good.
There
But a lot
was a
of
big
these,
fantasy surge.
a lot of these, some of these rules are reminiscent of fantasy, like the assaulter being able to attack first. That's a fantasy rule.
But I like
You
that.
know,
rule.
and
I don't
I
like
don't
charging
really
people with
think that's
orcs
fair
and then, you know,
Warhammer
having
fans
to hit it on
die
initiative
now.
2.
People weren't
I don't
buying
like that at
stuff.
all.
You see,
Well,
I'd say by a majority, I would say.
Anon has a good point. He wants us to talk about these new 16 or so force org charts and tactical points.
Yeah,
like the
but-
command
Wait,
points.
Talk about what?
For the force
16
charts.
force org charts.
Force sword?
Force
Force
org.
organization.
Force
Oh,
organization.
force org.
16 different force swords.
Force
Force
org.
org?
Yes.
Ah!
There's
You could
di-
just say...
sounds like an orc.
never-
Force org.
Four swords.
So there's
seven
four score.
years
Yeah,
Those
exactly.
two
I like
hashtag
that.
send nids.
Send nids.
Send nids. Send the
Send
bugs.
send all
Send
the
some
bugs.
nids. Who's got some nids? Let's send him some nids. I got my... No, not nudes. Never mind.
Wait, where's my pride harpy? Grab my pride harpy.
oh, there you go.
You have a pride heart?
Don't break it.
Break it.
Of course. Look
You're not in front.
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah.
There we go.
We're sending
It loves
bugs
the
in,
D.
man.
Harpy pride.
Nobody takes harpies. Nobody takes harpies. They take hive crones.
It's hilarious because I actually can't see what's happening until like 10.
About 10, 30 seconds later, yeah.
Yeah.
Good call, bitches. Good call.
But yeah, so force
Fly to the
organization
Pride Harpy.
charts. What do we what do
There's
we think about
16
force
force
orgs?
organization
Yeah.
charts now. I
yeah,
did not
so
know this.
there's going to
That's
be a bunch of different ones where basically the way I seen it is I interpreted it as instead of formations you had these different force org
Instead of
charts.
CADs, probably.
That'd
like
be-
your
okay,
Nemesis
then yeah.
Strike Force type
Right.
stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So there's going to be
Okay.
different categories of them. There's these command points where if you fill out these force org charts,
Yeah.
you get a certain number of command points, and they range from small things like 1 HQ, 2 troops, and an elite, all the way up to like a battalion size where it's almost a full, like 1 or 2 HQs, 4 to 6 troops, that kind of thing.
I
And
like that.
depending on if you fill it, then you get a certain number of these command points. And those command points, I think the only example they actually said was you can use 1 command point per phase, and it gives you a bonus.
Okay.
And
I
one
like that.
of the ones that they pointed out was the assaulter attacks first, but if the defender spends one of their command points, it negates that.
So
Really?
then how do you
So-
determine who goes first?
Well, that's what I asked earlier. Is how do they both go at the same time?
we're
With
not
there
gonna
with there
know
being
yet,
no
yeah.
initiative,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that's going to work. So I would almost imagine that it's an equal time if there's no initiative, and you can negate that going first. But with being only able to spend 1 per phase, if you have multiple charges that you're going to be taking, you have to pick and choose which
That's
one you're
fair.
going to use that on.
I actually kind of like that though,
Yeah.
because 16 is kind of good. I mean, I would like to see where it's like an open, almost force org chart where you can kind of like pick and choose from like different charts to make sure what your whole benefit would be. Fluffy
Right.
side, but 16 is like plenty of goddamn choices. So I mean, what the?
Well,
I mean, if you're
well,
going to like customize
and not only
all
that,
that,
there's-
that's
that brings us
close,
back
you
to
know?
balancing too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's going to
Yeah.
be more of them too. There's 16 in the core set of books.
Now-
But it could
But then,
expand.
once they
Okay.
start getting into actual codexes, the codexes themselves are going to have their own that are even going to be more specialized.
I'm kind of digging on that.
What?
That's pretty good.
That means the Eldar are going to have the best.
Oh man.
So you're
I'm
gonna.
an Eldar
There he
hater, in
goes.
case you haven't noticed.
So you're gonna be
Big
playing
time Eldar
Eldar now,
hater.
right? If they're the
No.
best.
I do
They're
not.
the best.
Well, I mean, if they're the best, aren't you gonna play them?
No.
There's
Yeah,
a
you
lot
just
of-
said that.
Everybody except for Eldar, I'm anti-Eldar.
I'm sorry, but that was pretty good.
I'll play the Tau. I'll play Chaos. I just cannot play.
We
Eldar.
could always agree on that, man. I hate the Eldar so much.
Oh,
Yeah,
look at
I've-
this.
I've- I've
Screw
shelved
Pepsi.
my Eldar,
Eldar
but-
hate.
Eldar,
Yeah.
no.
Eldar bringing
I've always
people
said
together.
it. Nothing will bring the human race together like finding another alien
What-
species to kill.
what
And if it's
caused-
Eldar, that works for me.
What caused me? My hatred for Eldar began back in 3rd edition.
Oh damn!
Ooh.
Oh
When-
damn! All right, I'm listening. This is a favor.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Gather
Brand.
round,
Was
Joe.
that when the Bealton Codex came out?
Yeah,
The Bealton Codex, which is basically what we play now.
and the Harlequins.
Yes, you could take Dark Reapers as troop choices.
They always sat right on the edge of the board.
Imagine
Right on the edge of the board.
6 units of Dark Reapers
Oh
on the
my
table edge. 'Cause
God.
I mind you too. This wasn't pre-built tables. Like the terrain system now is way different than then. Then you rolled dice and you got to place terrain on the table before the game started. Okay, that's how we used to play it.
So
So,
kinda like
imagine
Battle
me
War. That's
playing
how you did it.
Tyranids. I'm like trees, and then this guy's like tiny little rock over here that nothing will ever hide behind. I mean, that's how it was then. And he would hug the table edge with his 40
Right on the edge. Right
Yes.
on the edge.
That's crazy, man.
That's how. That began my hate, and that was Chuck too. And we all know how oppressive Chuck can be in this game. Well, at least
Oh, no.
I don't think I've ever.
I played him in
fought Chuck. I
Apocalypse.
just
It
painted
you
was-
don't
his
want
army.
to fight Chuck.
No, I had to in Apocalypse. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
I
that
think I
fighter
did
wing of Eldar. You are a dick.
Chuck
You
my
are.
partner?
You are.
For the 2v2?
No,
Who was my partner? For 2v2 A-Pot, or not the Escalation.
that was James.
James, that's right.
Chuck was teamed with the Necrons, which
I've
Eldar and
never-
Necrons together are pretty formidable.
I don't
They
know if
are.
I've ever
That's
met
I feel like I
Chuck.
need a cigarette here. I might step out for a second.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean,
Oh, get out of here, man. I like
just-
my nicotine. Get
More
out.
meat shields for the Eldar.
Just like that one
Well,
commercial.
Necron.
Dude,
there was
all the
something
people
else
having
that
a
you
party
could
or outside
allocate
just
the,
smoking. A little
command
cigarette's like,
point
yeah.
thing,
Nobody's
right?
gonna miss
So,
me. I'm the nerd.
I will.
What
I'm
was
stealing
it?
your
Oh,
Thing
bro.
where
No,
you could
no,
allocate
no,
the
no,
command
no,
point.
no. That is a seat check, sir. That is a seat check.
I forget
Thank
what they
you.
said
Yep.
about it.
Don't
But
steal
they're
my
saying
god.
something about
Don't
allocating
steal my
command points
chair.
for the
I'm not gonna leave
force
if you're gonna steal my
organization
chair. I
stuff,
brought
and
you a
that was,
beer.
like,
Don't steal my chair.
Gonna be like a
Smoke.
balancing issue again for these armies.
You're a
Do you remember
bastard.
what
I
it
can
was
see
they
it in
said
your
about
eyes.
that exact
You're
thing?
bad.
It was more along the lines of if you fill the force org chart that you pick, you get a certain number of points, and then by filling bigger charts, you get more points. So it becomes more of a not necessarily a balancing issue in the sense of what you bring, but like by bringing a more dedicated, unified force, you get more of these points, so you might do better. As opposed to bringing a bunch of the smaller ones, you won't be able to add up to the same amount of command points that you would by taking like a bigger one and like a medium-sized one. So
We'll see how that.
we'll see how it actually
good
works.
is.
Why do you think it's gonna be bad?
Well, I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but like as in like an aspect of tournaments,
Sorry.
maybe
Come on,
you know
Prison pants. Good job, Prison Pants. Good job.
maybe the fact that
Prepare for deep strike.
maybe the fact that you're getting your force organization points still is not good enough to outweigh you taking certain other units instead.
And that may be true, but it also depends on what we can use those command points for. So,
Yeah.
I'm hoping it'll be worthwhile and not just some little.
and I'm sure it will be, since they said once you use one, it's gone. There's no like refreshing of it. So whatever you start with,
So
that's
you can't spam the same one.
you can't spam the same one.
That's probably a very good thing.
So I mean, if you take a
Yeah.
bunch of like the little formations that are only worth like 1 or 2 each, and even if you have like 4 of them, you only have 4 to 6 command points. Whereas somebody who takes a full battalion, so one army, filling out all these different slots, they have 9, so they're already going to be
Now let me ask
an
you a
advantage.
question. Do we know if the points for the orders are they all 1 point, or is there going to be like a 5-point order or a
From-
a 4-point order?
From what I've
I didn't see
heard,
what they said.
I didn't. I don't think
Right.
they said, because they did just mention. I think anytime they've mentioned it, they've said you can spend a point.
8 point.
So that was the way they phrased it. So I imagine each one is only going to be 1.
Because I'm just the reason why I ask is if you got 9 points, you're not playing the game for 9 turns.
Well, it's per
You know what I
phase.
mean?
It's
Right.
per phase. So you have movement, shooting, assault.
Okay.
So there's 3 phases per turn. So if you have
Okay.
9, you could use one every phase for 3 turns, and you can even use them obviously on the other person's turn, since you can spend one to negate their charge bonus.
Yeah.
So technically, there's 6 chances to spend points every full turn.
Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm scared to death. Like, I'm going to be doing it, but I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death of a 10-man squad of Terminators with Demon Hammers and Power Chain Fists attacking me first.
Well, I like
I
how
am
you
scared.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
But yeah, no. Well, back to that match play. By the way, Jake, you're popular, man. Prison Pants,
What the hell did I do?
We got you and your buddy over
Yeah,
here. You guys are
exactly.
popular.
Yeah.
People are like what you guys are saying. So.
Number 32 and Prison Pants are
Yeah,
running
like-
the.
Prison pants.
Love it. Prison Pit, can I please have my seat back?
Oh.
Pretty please.
I'll tell you what,
He just got out of prison. You're going to talk to
I'll
him
tell
like
you what.
that?
Yeah,
I'll
don't
give
talk
it to you
to
when
him
I
like
get
that,
up to
dude.
smoke. I'll give you my
Right.
seat.
You're a bastard. Come on, please. Go.
But
Come
back to the match play thing. So I'm
So,
looking
how
actually
am I
now at the
popular?
website,
What the hell did I say?
and they said here that
Sir.
it involves each
You're
force
a
will be of
bastard.
equivalent strength.
I brought you a beer.
This is
now.
as
What the
simple
hell's
as
wrong
adding
with
up the cost for each model and weapon
get you a
and
beer
setting
later.
an upper limit that both players must adhere to.
When you're finished
That's
with that
for
one.
matched play, but that's going to be the competitive
you? Remember this shit.
Gotcha.
format of play.
Remember that.
Okay,
I'm gonna keep
so
this.
I
I'm gonna
think-
keep this up here.
I mean, how can you? I don't know. I mean, how can you make it more? How can you try
What the
to
fuck
make
did
it
I
more
do that
balanced
made me
than that?
popular?
You know, and then you take into account what we just said about the command points, and people aren't gonna be able to spam that. I think, yeah, it's gonna be
As long
really
as the
interesting.
command charts are created equal through each faction.
Well, I think the command
Even if
charts
they're not.
themselves, what you can spend the points on, are universal. I don't think those are faction specific. Now, the specific formations or organizational charts are going to end up being faction specific once more codexes are released.
Hashtag Magnus did it.
Magnus did it.
Magnus.
That's what the Emperor said. It's always his
Hashtag
fault.
send Nates. Grab the other pride. High from.
You didn't even have fucking seat back.
Dude, you don't mess with Brian. He's fresh out of prison. We've been over this.
Right? Is it fresh out of shit?
Hashtag send Magnus. I don't own Magnus, or I would.
Does that mean our? Damn it! I
would
can't
like
say
to
that
own
on a live cast.
the reason why I
I was gonna say
haven't
our
actually
dicks.
bought a Magnus model as of yet is because
1, 2,
I really would spend probably
'Cause he's a-
several years painting it.
He's a fluff player, that's why.
What's wrong
I'm
with
not a
that?
fluff player.
Dude, fluff. Dude,
What the hell
fluff
is
the
wrong-
new hardcore, dude?
Fluff is hardcore mode in 7th
Nice.
edition. What's wrong with
Oh.
you?
Then I'm going to be really hardcore.
You ain't hardcore.
I'm hardcore.
I'm
You're
not-
gonna play Eldar 8th edition. How are you
I know
hardcore?
you don't
How are you-
understand this. It doesn't compute in Ed brain, but I'm in the middle. Like, that doesn't compute for you, but.
No, there's no such thing as in the
Oh,
middle.
man.
There's only winning.
There's only winners and losers.
2 enter Thunderdome, 1 leave.
Now, in my defense, though, the reason why I'm competitive now is because of guys like him.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
I played him
when
with.
I-
Listen. I may be the most hated guy at this table,
I know,
but it's
right?
his fault.
The one guy that hasn't said anything this whole podcast.
And I play
This whole
sisters,
podcast.
okay?
This whole-
I was
Hey.
playing sisters, and that's what made him so competitive.
You played Chaos back then.
Wait,
Well,
sisters
alright.
made you
Alright.
competitive? What the
No.
hell is
Back
wrong with
then-
you?
No,
Back
this
It's kind
is
of weird.
I play against guys like him and Chuck and Dallas
What are you
who
trying to
do
say?
bring competitive lists.
What are you trying to
And
say?
when I first started playing, I did not bring competitive lists, and I got my ass kicked.
No,
And
you know
I
what?
said, enough is enough. So now I just kick ass
Oh,
instead of
man.
getting my ass kicked.
We have an address to
What a
prison
nerd.
fans.
Yeah!
Prison.
I have.
That's him.
That's him. Why are you flexing?
I know.
Oh,
Dude, that's so aggro. Quit being so
Oh.
ultra up in here, man. Tone
Oh.
down your Smurfy attitude.
it's alright. I'm sure Katy Perry will still love
I
you in
agree
your
that
army
fluff is the new
sometime.
hardcore. I hope the narrative play supports tournaments well. Yeah, I think it can. I think that I would want to see. I want to see narrative tournament as play get as big and as much coverage and be shoutcasted, and I'd like to do that
Thank
at the
you.
LVO as much as the other tournament stuff is. And the narrative guys did a great job putting that on. I think that's the thing that can happen. Ed's thinking small when he's thinking there's only one way and to play in that's hardcore. But I will say this, and like we're Magic guys. I don't know if you haven't noticed, and both of us have played high level competitive Magic where it requires, and I would assume high level 40 competitive K is like this as well. I'm just assuming that it is, but when you're playing at such a competitive level, you eat, sleep, live, and breathe that up until a Grand Prix if you want to do well. If you're going to do well, you're going to be buying boxes of Magic cards, and you're going to be drafting the entire set with all your friends in your basement, and you're going to be reading the forums and every day, and you're going to know everything in and out. You're going to know what the other lists are. You're going to know what your enemy's going to bring. You're going to know what the decks are. You're going to know that stuff, so you're going to do really, really well. You're going to know what that you can build out of a whole new set of Magic cards. Every deck you can build from that, you'll know it. Competitive is also like that. So that mindset, I'll give a little bit to them on that. Mm-hmm. But I think that anyone can prepare for that and still play narrative base 40K. That's to say that there is just one or the other. I don't think that's it.
And it also goes back to, it depends on what you're looking for that day. Like there's days that I go to the shop and I actually want to play a really competitive game against maybe a tournament list, maybe try something out, or I just want a more aggressive game. And then some days I go there and I just want to have a fun, good game, and I'll bring some ridiculous.
Ego Queen's here. Hi, Ego Queen. She says hashtag the warp did it. What is?
Oh, that's such a weak ass excuse, but it's the only excuse.
It's
the
only. Right? The swarm is invaded. Yeah, we're getting all kinds of people now. Now we're up to 10 people in the stream.
Oh, man. Oh, we're all popular now.
Ghost is helping us out. I think
people are watching a bunch of nerds in a basement.
Right, with my I got the castle background things for the Game of Thrones release party. I just kind of kept it up.
You are a nerd, dude.
But yeah, I don't know. We keep saying hashtag send nids. I should just put the nids on the table.
Why do they want nids? Nids are, come on.
There's nothing wrong with nids.
They are filthy aliens.
What about the Imperium or the orcs? Who doesn't want to see orcs? I wish I brought my orcs. We could sit here and flex that shit all day.
I think, right?
Yeah, that's the crone.
We'll put Pride Crone out on the table.
There we go. This is a real Tyranid unit right here. I do like the Hive Crone.
So is that the only thing you're making your army with now?
Aren't you the one that told me to take?
No, it's got the size on it. You need like Twin Link Devour.
Oh, that's right. You got
Twin Link Devour,
Rain Leech Worms.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
the flying
and
circus.
Also, electroshock grubs are very good on Flyrants.
Anytime I want to do some OP, man, you're the first man I go to.
Okay, that's good. Give me a call.
I don't know if I just like again, there goes the ad revenue. Swarmlord says I'd fuck a Hive Crone.
Well, I mean, that's honest.
That's deviant.
Yeah.
Birdman man.
Let's face it.
Some heresy right there.
You would
Who's
be
got that
fucking the Hive
Prometheum?
Crone, the Hive Crone would be
Yeah.
fucking you. Let's be honest on that, okay?
Okay. I like how he keeps looking at you though too.
I don't know. We'll be honest.
Well, Brandon, he's quiet, man.
Brandon supported you in like 2 things you've said for the last like 2 hours.
I know.
Everything else, he gives you this weird look after you're done saying it, like, yeah, fucking right, dude. What are you talking about?
Did we even David Squashy, calm down? Did we even say anyone say other than squats what they thought the new faction or race was going to be?
What else would it be?
Well, I personally, I don't. It could be squats, but I think it's going to just be what he wants.
What's
What
that?
do I-
Revamped codex with plastic sisters.
Well, I would totally be all
Witch
up in
hunters are back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That'd
not
be
a new
sweet.
faction, but it's an
That'd be sweet.
I would
unused
love
faction.
witch
Yeah,
hunters to come back.
That would be cool.
There's been a lot of people wondering too if it might be, there's a lot of speculation that the Tyranids are running from something. So it might be what they're running from.
Running from something. That's
Ti-
interesting.
Okay.
Oh,
Tyranids don't
I
run.
see what you're
I know.
saying.
The
I
Hive
know.
Queen does not run.
But no,
from
that's
anything.
actually part of their lore, though. Is they're supposed to be running from some. That's why they're migrating, because they're migrating
Oh.
away from some. That I think that's like he was saying. I think that's literally part of the lore. Well, tell me if I'm wrong, everyone out there, but I thought
they'll
that was
tell you.
definitely.
Oh
yeah. You're wrong. Let me tell you 8
So
million
what-
ways how.
So what eats bugs?
Who knows, man?
That's the question.
I don't know.
What does
Space
it?
Monkeys.
Ghost lives matter.
Space
yes,
birds.
Ghost lives
Space
matter.
birds?
Monkeys.
Space
Monkeys. Aren't we the
Space
monkeys?
monkeys?
I think-
Space monkeys.
That's
Yeah,
why
we're
Eldars
monkeys.
call us Monkai.
I think-
We're monkeys.
Okay, to that Monkai thing. What is Monkai?
That's the Eldar. That's the Eldar term for human. It means monkey. Yeah, monkey.
Or like,
yeah, Monkai.
Yeah.
Because we're apes. I mean, we're primates.
You calling me a nerd, man? Like,
I'm not. You are a nerd. You just don't.
If I need any questions about the lore, I'll come see you.
Oh, don't do that to me. I don't want to talk to you for like 4 hours after you ask me one question. Are you kidding me? I don't want to do that.
He's also very easy to sidetrack.
Yeah.
Shut up. I can't say why that is because you told me your revenue would get banned, so never mind.
I don't know, man. YouTube's gone insane. They're like taking away ad revenue if you say anything controversial.
It's ridiculous.
If you
show
say
Pepsi in it, it's
like I said, I'm a free speech absolutist. I don't give a shit what people
Pepsi
say. I just don't want to lose my.
YouTube doesn't want peace. That if they don't want Pepsi in their ads, I guess that's how that works.
Yeah, maybe someone just needs to give YouTube a Pepsi.
Yeah,
we just can't
is
have
that
a
the
current
second time we
events
made that joke?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a good
get
joke.
together.
It's a
and
great
open up
joke.
the
It's a pretty good
newspapers.
joke.
Well, I've heard people suggest maybe the Hrud.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Actually,
I thought they
somebody
were
said
extinct.
that, and I didn't know what they were saying, but now I get it.
But
And,
aren't they
the fruit.
extinct?
Well,
No, they were on. They were
Oh,
on
a
the
co-op
far
live
edges.
stream would be cool. I'd be down to do a co-op live stream.
Who wants to co-op with us?
Ego Queen.
Oh, word.
there you go.
But yeah, like what are the Hrud?
I mean, I don't have a lot of background.
They're
on them
lizards,
personally.
as far as I know, aren't they? They're like big,
Space
like...
lizards?
No, wait. They're not the ones that did in Fulgrim, right? No, that's not the Harud. Who the hell is that? Someone out there is gonna post it, I guarantee it. But there was this lizard force that Fulgrim and the Emperor's children were fighting.
Or, I don't know.
I want to say that was Harud, but maybe no. I think the Harud were short, ugly, like almost squat-like and shit.
I don't know.
Could be wrong. It's been a while, man. It has been a long
The
while.
Hrud are a race created by Zeech, Ego Queen. says.
Really?
Yeah.
Very nice.
And she's like.
I thought they were created by the old ones,
lore
like the orcs
master,
were
so
and the
she-
Eldar
if
were.
anyone knows, she'd know that.
Hail the Lore Master.
Hail the lore master.
Yeah, no,
Sorry, you're the
it's-
rules master.
Yeah, they're the ones.
Thanks.
Okay, no,
You're the
Harud
rules
are the
master
ones.
among people.
No,
Okay,
no.
alright,
He,
thanks.
no, he showed me the picture here. No, Haruds are the one that have like the crazy stink that surrounds them and shit like that. And they're like naturally connected to the warp and everything. But I think that they're supposed to be created by the elder ones or the
Old
same.
ones.
Thank you, the old ones, the same ones that made like the orcs and the Eldar and all that shit. I could be wrong again. Maybe what's her face has got me on this, but. He showed me that picture and I recognize that. They're supposed to like stink real bad or something.
She said that created Zeech.
No,
So scratch and sniff aliens.
pretty much, I
Scratch and
guess.
sniff
That's the
aliens.
new marketing genius.
Scratch
of
and
GW.
sniff.
More
Yeah.
like flamer.
Well, somebody
Yeah,
had
it don't
seen
smell
that.
like shit when it smells like death.
Smells
I don't know if that was
ash.
FLG. They put a video out. It was a few months ago, and I thought somebody saw a new Xenos force, and it wasn't recognizable by anyone
Okay.
that saw it. And I think that was FLG. And if they were part of this whole playtest thing,
They were. FLG was part of the
yeah.
playtest.
So that's a really interesting thing, though. If those guys didn't
Oh,
have
shit,
any
you do have it all
recollection
up here,
of what
don't
it
you?
might be.
That's true. I didn't think of that. And if anyone in the chat, I
Lair,
don't
damn
know-
it. They said it. It was the lair. I'm sorry. I just read the chat.
Oh,
yeah, you're right.
yeah.
I was an idiot. It wasn't the Harud. It was the lair. Apologize. You got
Ooh,
me.
Yeah, they're like the roast.
I got the full. I got the full caps lock on that shit. Like holy crap.
They're roasting you 32.
They are. I'm
His
sorry.
name- By the way, his name is Jacobiah Schmidt.
Oh damn. Fuck you, dude. We're on the same side.
AKA Sidetrack Johnson.
I said I'm sorry.
Quick,
Quit
Jake,
hating,
hit him with the
man.
layup. Derail the discussion. Oh shoot, man. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be awesome. Like, I'm really excited for 8th edition, and I think that everything. I haven't really heard one thing that I really fully disagree with the announcements for 8th edition. Like just sort of recapping there. I like the feel of templates, like we said earlier, and I just like clear, cool colored plastic. Like I just like toys, so. And playing with them, So I mean, like the fact that they're gone, and my buddy Tony,
that's what
Hammerhead
everyone
Games,
says.
who is making these templates, he was actually going to do some custom templates for us, And then they dropped this bomb. It's like, oh shit,
yeah.
I guess that's not happening.
Yeah, I would like to thank GW for I got 3 APOC templates made for my towel.
Well, APOC, we don't know if those are going to be.
I'm hoping those will still be used.
I doubt it.
I'm very sad.
Dude, I think that'd be great for
Really?
orbital bombardment. I think that'd be a great template for it.
I
To
don't
be
know,
100%
I just, like,
honest
my
with
voice went
you.
up like I'm going through puberty, but you
Your balls dropped. Get used to it. It's a weird
doubt
world
that
from here on out.
APOC templates are going to still be around.
Yeah, I doubt it. They'll just find
Why?
more.
They'll
more-
get rid of them.
They'll just find more ways to roll dice. That's all.
I just said I like them. They'll get rid of them, but I like it. Again, for like an orbital bombardment, I think APOC
The
is
new
an
race
appropriate
will be the
template.
subterranean uprisings. Mutants. That'd be cool, actually.
That would be cool.
That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I would
that
be
would be
okay with
interesting.
that,
Who's that? The Swarm
100%.
Lord that said that? Yeah,
Yeah.
Swarm
Yeah,
Lord.
mutants. Isn't that kind of Gene Stealer callish?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Gene still calls. They're not mutants. Though.
Mutants
No, they're
exist in
Tyranid.
the,
Yeah,
in the,
mutants are
Lost
chaos.
in the Damned.
Yeah.
They're there.
Yeah, no, Gene Stealers are mutated. Well, I
So
mean, I
you're-
guess
you're
it's
talking about,
mutated
like,
DNA from the
zombie
Tyranid,
crap?
but it's not the same thing as like
Zombies
chaos.
are there too, but mutants are actually really. They're like even cheaper than cultists.
No shit.
If you look at, yeah.
Really?
I've got 2 squads of 50 I'm building.
Oh no, kid!
Yeah,
Oh
that's right.
damn, there it is. That's dirty as shit,
I know,
right
right?
there.
Ed doesn't play everything like that.
What, mutants?
And they're fearless
Yeah,
when
not
they're
if
within
they're
a certain amount of inches of
No
the
shit.
rainbow.
Oh.
No shit,
So I got
really?
my
I don't really
blade and
wanna-
my 2 squads of 50.
Tyranids was a
So you literally
learning
got just meat
experience
shields wandering
for me.
right around your
Somebody
goddamn
involved.
Beyblade.
I
That's
don't
so
know
great.
if I
That's
really
awesome.
want to
That
tackle
is
one
good.
other
I like
army
I
with
have to start working on that. It
Alright.
might actually be
Yeah.
viable now.
Dude, with the way the swarm armies
Siege
are
of
looking like,
Frost and Beast.
thinking you don't get wiped out in melee now and shit. You actually,
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, I love that. I
Yeah.
switched over to orcs at just the right time. Yeah, there was awkward silence. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm just reading these comments.
Wait, what the hell are people talking about? What do we got?
All kinds of
Musicals and
things.
stuff now.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Oh no, it's all 40K themed musicals.
Is it really?
It's great.
Siege
Yeah.
of Vrax, the
Um,
musical. Oh, damn, that actually sounds really cool. Siege of Vrax. I take back everything I just said. Like, let's write that. Like,
Let's write up a script right now.
orcs, the
Orcs
one
are
army.
Tier 1 army now, he says.
I hate
Nice.
Caldor Drago. He's a bitch, but whoever he is commenting, he's great. I love him for that. Orcs are
Ed
the
likes
number
Caldor
one.
Drago.
I love Caldor Dragon.
No, Caldor Drago's bit. Fuck Caldor Drago. He's got more plot
Hey,
armor
man.
than like Han Solo, and I love Han Solo.
He just like sorts warp dust, and he comes out of the warp and he kills stuff. He's awesome. I don't know
Yeah,
why you don't like
yeah. No, they put
Yeah.
him on. Yeah.
Number
yeah.
32 is now Gazgul.
Drago, you bitch. Thank you, Codis, Ferox, whoever the hell that is.
Oh god.
With all the gayness
Wow.
about
That's
Yarick.
hilarious.
Screw you! I love Gazcool, and Yarick is awesome, because Gazcool and Yarick are like bros. They really are. Gazcool even said he's like my human bro. He's like, he's the only human I really respect. It's great.
Let's face it, everybody's off the Drago train now. It's all about Gilliman.
Ah.
Everybody's riding the coattails of Gilliman.
No, there's no coattails for Gilliman. It's just all
if
dicks.
Ed would have said what he
That's
said
all it is.
earlier, and like now that there's 15 people in the chat about the Ultramarines.
Fuck Gilliman,
yeah.
dude. He's so.
Hey, chat room, what do you guys think about Gilliman? You think it's a pretty cool model, right? You think Ultramarines
They know
are
Robo
pretty cool,
Girly
right?
Man's gay. They know that. Oh wait, I can't say that. Shit! They know Robo Girly Man is a very weird individual that no one likes, which makes it sound even worse. So I'm
I
just
don't
gonna
think
shut
you're
up
making
now.
it better.
No, that just sounded way worse. Never mind.
I mean, he's gay. Someone just says he's gay.
Yeah.
Okay, well they all agree with me, so that's good.
Um,
Robo Girly Man's terrible, dude.
Oh, he's good.
Well,
No, actually, there's a lore thing for this.
his
So
model,
2 seconds.
by the way.
Oh, fucking little model.
Wait, hold on. No, we're talking about rules and the changes.
But the lore.
Oh, I know, you fluff buddy. Just hang
But
on.
the lore, man. He tried to
I think
found a
his
second
wounds are getting
Imperium.
doubled.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have like 16 wounds.
Oh God, that's.
I mean,
terrible.
That's
I don't like.
Yeah, it's
I don't
terrible.
wanna- I
It's
don't want to
great.
name drop, but did you see the video of Gilliman fighting Brass Scorpion?
It
Imperial
depends who are
Knight?
you name dropping.
Well, just the Spiky Bits. It was on
Yeah.
Spiky Bits.
That's fine. I don't
He
care.
single-handedly destroyed a Wraith Knight, a Brass Scorpion,
Oh
and
God.
an Imperial Knight, and they all got to charge first.
Oh God.
Now, is that at the same time or like one-on-one?
No, one-on-one.
Okay.
No,
But still.
If it was all at the
that'd be
same time,
ridiculous,
I'd be like,
He
yeah,
could probably
just...
do it. But here's the
Yeah,
here's
'cause
the
you can hit everything
yeah.
around.
But here's the lore thing I was saying though. This is why I don't like Robo Girly Man. Because when the Imperium was going down the first time, the first thing he was worried about was founding a Imperium Secundus. While the Emperor was probably about to get fucked over with Terra, he tried to get every Space Marine he could to him to found a second Imperium. Because he was afraid the first one was going to fail. That's not loyalty, man. He literally held in his heart, hey, you know what? The First Imperium might fail. I need to have a backup plan, which you might think is prudent, but at the same time, it's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Maybe he wanted the thing
That's
to survive.
straight up heresy. No, that's straight up heresy, dude. It wasn't because he wanted to survive. It's because he wanted to run it. Robo Girly Man wanted to be in charge.
And he's running it right now.
Exactly.
respect of
But that's
if
the
the
long-term
Emperor were
plan.
to
He
not
got his
exist,
long-term plan because
he would be
after
the
he
next
did
one
that,
in
he
line
busted the
anyway.
legions up into chapters, which didn't make
To
any
rule the
sense.
Imperium.
So now they're smaller, and now
I
that
would
he's
think
coming
so.
back, he's got it.
He's
got it. It's his
Oh,
Imperium
so it was
now.
all
think so.
planned in the beginning, huh?
Yeah,
He
Robo
does have
Girly
the
Man's got it.
Emperor's sword.
He's the one that's going to go Chaos. Everyone's wondering what Primarch's
Oh,
going
that-
Chaos. It's Robo Girly Man. 100%.
Bullshit.
100%.
Oh, boy.
No,
That's
that's
never gonna happen.
you just ignored. Like we had this whole conversation
I
here.
love this. I
No, we had this whole conversation here. This
I
is
think
his
it's gonna
long
be
plan.
Lionel Johnson,
Edwin, give
so.
me like 2 seconds. This
We
is
got
his
to vote
long
for
plan.
Lionel Johnson.
He
That's right.
founded.
By the
He
way, it was just
founded
said is the
the
only
Imperium
true
Secondus
Primarch.
because he wanted to be in charge himself. That was his overall plan until the end of days. So he busted up the legions into the individual chapters to weaken it, even using it as an excuse to strengthen it. Where you can't get everyone together, you can't bring this shit down. Well, guess what? When they defended it, they brought the legions together, not chapters. So it took legions to defend legions. So he busted that shit up to weaken it. So his long-term plan was to bust it up to weaken it. He ended up getting beaten, going into rest, and just let that shit ride for a bit. When he came back, the Ultramarines, because the way the chapter systems works, are now the largest spread Space Marines in the entirety of existence because of the chapter system. More secondary chapters, tertiary, whatever chapters are Ultramarines than any other chapter in existence.
Carry
They-
Down the Redeemer says roses are red, violets are blue. Girly Man is a fucking bundle of sticks.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
But that's what I'm saying. Almost all of the majority of successor chapters are all Ultramarines. That means he stepped up back. He's got the Imperium again. He's in charge. He got what he planned in the first place, which was to replace the Emperor as the ruler of the Imperium. He's going to be the goddamn heretic. He's Horus reincarnate.
Oh, boy.
Oh, jeez, no way.
Fuck Robo Girly Man.
No fucking
wow,
way.
that's some strong
Jeez.
words, though, man. He's Horus
Reincarnate. He's Horus all
Really?
over
You
again.
think that's gonna happen?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I think he's the traitor.
Don't you?
What about
I think
Cypher?
Cypher is the traitor.
No, I think Cypher's the
No.
I think
loyalist.
that-
I think the Lion was the traitor and Cypher's the
I'm
loyalist.
not
think
gonna
he
lie,
was
I'm
slow
kind of
playing
leaning
it?
more towards
Yep.
that.
Slow playing.
Slow
Well, I
playing
mean,
it
even
just
in the
to see
lore
who
now,
won.
even in
yeah.
this, no, even in the lore now, Cypher's been showing up to like help out more and more often. But usually,
Conveniently.
but he usually
his own
more
needs.
often than not he shows up to help loyalists.
Pretty
More
much.
often than not, his actions have helped loyalists than non-loyalists. Way more often than not. So in the long run, we could see that Cypher's
Yeah.
grand plan is to help loyalists.
You know, I don't know. I kind of just had Dark Angels forced on me because they came to the Dark.
Dark
Knights.
Angels are traitors. That's what Dark Angels are.
And you just backed him.
No, I
No.
back the Fallen
No, because
as
they,
loyalists.
actually hate Cypher.
Yeah, they hate
Yeah.
Cyphers.
Isn't it heretic?
No,
Are you a heretic?
I love the Imperial Fist.
Yeah,
It's
but
one
what
of
if
my
the Fallen
favorites.
are the
Yeah,
loyal
but-
ones?
Yeah.
That's what I say. I think the Fallen are because I think the
Yeah,
Dark
I think
Angels
that's
always
right.
had too
I'm
much
telling
of
you
a
right now,
secret.
Gilliman is not the.
That's
He's not
right.
swapping sides.
Wait until I'm right. Actually, you know what's gonna happen?
I feel
I'm
as
not.
though a wager should be made.
I'm not.
Oh.
No, I'm not going to be right. I won't win that because Games Workshop won't go that far. I think story-wise, that'd be brilliant. That'd be one of the most brilliant things they've ever pulled off in the entirety of this history.
You're
Is if
watching
Robo
this.
Girly Man came back and was the goddamn traitor, the Arc Traitor round 2. But they don't have the balls to do it, so it won't happen. You're
Or it
right.
was
They,
never
no,
their
you're right.
story.
He'll be loyal as shit. He'll be loyal as shit because they won't be.
Hell
They
yeah,
won't
he
pull
is.
through.
Yeah, but like, okay.
But that's
somebody-
boring. It's boring as hell
Since
if you
it's
look
kind
at
of
everything
not
he
the,
does.
story advancement at this point. Somebody tell me why the Dark Eldar and the Eldar are allied.
They're not
Well,
allied.
they
There's no
allied.
way in hell
What,
they're
in the
They
allied.
book?
allied at Gathering Storm.
They
2,
are
did they
allied.
not?
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why the
it's-
hell would they be
that makes
allied?
no
They hate
sense.
each other. The
They-
Eldar
they
hate
don't-
Slanesh.
It's
That
just
makes no
red.
sense.
It is desperate.
What? Really?
very
They
desperate.
they're out. Oh my god, dude! Wow, I've been out of this for too long.
Yeah, they got
But-
formations together.
Oh my god,
That's
really?
because they
oh,
do,
oh,
but it's
God.
because they're unifying around a certain ideal now that affects both of them. So
Ego cleans
I thought
does
that-
their fuck.
I thought the Dark Eldar. Yeah,
they are in a
That's
very
fair.
bad.
Yeah, that's
They
fair.
are in a very bad shape.
But I thought the
um,
Dark Eldar were like pro Slaneshi, you know. I
No,
love
no,
them.
no, no,
No,
no,
they're
no.
not.
They're
Not
not.
at all. I mean, I know all their
pro-Slaneshi.
souls go to Slanesh when they die, but I thought the Dark Eldar embraced that darker aspect of
Well,
it.
what they do instead is instead of like the Eldar have the soul stones.
Yeah, yeah.
So when they die, it goes to the soul,
Soul
stone.
stone
You put the
instead
soul
of
stone.
Slanesh. Yeah, yeah.
But what the Dark Eldar do instead is they feed off of the pain and suffering that they cause to lengthen their lives, so that they don't die, so that their soul doesn't go to Slanesh. So as opposed to going into like a little locket to get stored away, they instead just extend their lives so they don't die in the first place.
Okay, I gotcha.
I'll tell you what though.
Oh, there's a tower.
With the Dark Eldar splitting with the Eldar from back in the day, they are the gotta be the dumbest race.
Who?
Faction.
My buddy had
the Dark Eldar
faction.
You leave the faction and you just get all the shit weapons that they have.
They didn't leave the faction though.
Their bikes are terrible.
Oh,
I mean,
shit, he started.
They don't have Wraith
I'll be this
Knights. I mean, it's like,
Wait, why are we doing this? Why do I have this?
They just I would take whatever they got laying on the ground.
Why'd you give me the shit one?
Yeah.
You got the cool crystal and all that, and
But yeah.
Sorry.
that's rad. This looks like when I painted
I don't
like
know
2 weeks ago.
what custom chapter to make them. The Marines with soul gems, so.
You can have this. I'll take the Marine.
No. You can have that dirty shit back right now. You go. I don't know. We can't be silent too much. That'd be boring for everybody. No.
Brandon, go ahead, say something.
Yeah,
Sisters, Sisters of Battle.
That's right.
That's where it's at.
Adeptus Sororitas.
You want to play a game that's uphill? You play the Sisters.
Game that's up.
That's what
I
happens.
don't know. Somebody wants to join.
And then when you
Cleveland
win,
Browns suck.
That's
Who the
right,
fuck
when you-
said Cleveland Browns suck?
Oh.
Go back to that.
I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, but I agree.
Oh.
Well, we do.
That's
we
called
do,
masochism, people.
We do suck, but that's been like we've sucked for like 20 years.
Like, go sports. I don't give a shit.
Oh yeah, you love dick.
Go sports.
I said it.
Prison pants need
I
to
see you
speak
said it,
out
Swarm
more.
Lord. I'm
Speak
reading that
up more.
shit.
Yeah.
You're also being
You
accused of being
haven't,
high
you
as
haven't
fuck.
talked as much.
Yeah.
No,
Just
Brian
kinda-
does need to get up on this. Come on, man.
Okay.
Say something.
No, he's just gonna sit there on camera and drink his beer.
That's me. It's not. Yeah,
No, the one thing I'm kind of worried about with the elimination of templates is like, for example, one of my favorite vehicles is the Vindicator. How's that going to work?
I had the same kind of question. Like,
Calm
it's
down,
gonna.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, you bitch. I'm gonna write a song about you breaking up with me. Hold on.
But
There's points of the conversation you just can't jump into. Skype or you nerds? Oh, alright, well. I don't have her on my Skype.
What the fuck are they
I don't even
talking
know if
about?
I have
they're
Skype.
trying to
I
get
guess
somebody
Skype.
else in on the discussion.
Okay, sorry, Brian. Continue. My bad. Go ahead.
But yeah,
But, like-
what you were saying.
What I was saying is, with the elimination of templates, it's going to completely change how guard works. Because guard,
Yeah, guard, like
Guard-
Basculus,
the main,
Lehman Russes.
their main heavy firepower was templates, and now templates are
Probably
gone.
triggered
So
her bad with
how
this
are
accurate lore discussion.
They're just going to get rid of guard altogether.
like the Baneblade.
right?
I don't like that. I like that one.
Basilisk. Their whole thing was, how are basilisks going to work now? Because their whole thing was, you can shoot at something you can't see, but you're probably not going to hit it. So aim for the middle and hope it goes somewhere
I do wonder
useful.
how you're going to do templates from
So-
artillery. That is something
Yeah.
interesting.
And you know what? I bought 3 Vindicators for the reason to field 3 Vindicators to shoot the
Big
apocalyptic
apocalyptic
blast.
template.
And I never got to do it yet.
Well, you got a little bit of time.
I
bro.
got a little time.
You got a little time.
Even if it starts, just play a 7-game back after it, dude. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it.
You guys, I'm just gonna play 7th edition forever.
Yep.
I don't get to power game like I wanted. You guys suck.
You guys with
However-
me? We're just gonna stick with 7.
Yeah,
Hey, there's going to be power gaming in 8th, no doubt about it.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
power
Of course.
gaming. There's power gaming everywhere, dude. That goes without saying.
but
You
as
can
far
play
as
with a
that
bunch of
goes,
nerds.
though,
It's gonna
like,
happen.
The power gaming stuff. I mean, there's no reason why you still can't play something. And people were freaking out on the proof, like, that's not a valid argument. You can't just say we can just still use our 7th edition. Like, why not? Like, I don't.
You
understand.
still
I still
could.
own the. Oh, that's my paper. I'll take that.
If you still wanted to play 7th, you totally could. You could still play 2nd edition. if
That
you
was
wanted
narrative
Yeah.
campaign shit.
Right, and
if
2nd
anyone wants
edition's
to hear
pretty
about
cool.
it.
I am
like
kind of excited
kinda
with the
coming
new
back a little
rules.
bit.
There's such a
Some of that
drastic
stuff from-
change
Some of those things
in
like
the
armor
rules.
values
It's
and
not like
that's a lot like
minor,
2nd edition.
minute changes
fair,
from like
yeah.
so say from 6 to 7, and you're
I didn't
like,
play it,
oh,
but
it,
I've
it
seen the
means
rule books and
this,
shit.
and then the other guy says, no, it's this.
I played
Right,
first
and
And you
there's
both
such-
are wrong.
second, and then third.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now there'll be more of a distinct difference between the
Fuck.
two editions, I think.
Who said
Basic-
Night Lords all the way? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Someone said Night Lords all the way.
Corvus Ferox.
I agree.
The
Night
Night-
Lords all the way.
All they do is eat Count Chocula.
Oh, it's great though.
Oh.
They eat that. They eat that.
Opinions are like,
They
boil
eat
with
that
water,
shit.
It's great.
They eat that shit like a motherfucker.
they do.
It's great. It's wonderful.
And fear.
You ain't heard of Frankenberry.
Conrad
Fuck
Kurz.
Count Chocula.
Conrad Kurz is one of the best
Frankenberry was
goddamn
way
Primarch
better.
server. That's what I based my that custom successor chapter I made some of you have to play after was goddamn Night Lords. And that's because Kurz was badass. I love Kurz. I do.
Calm
Don't take
down.
that away from
I'm
me.
all
Calm down,
word
Power
bearers.
Gamer.
Word bearer.
Power gamer, right? Are you kidding me? Power gamer? You're gonna play Eldar in 8th edition. You're calling me a power gamer?
I told you. I retract my statement. I'll play anything that's good that's not Eldar.
You'll play
He'll play
Eldar.
Tau.
You say that right now. I'll give it a month. You'll be Eldar.
I have-
You'll be Eldar.
He already
That's why
plays
you already
Tau.
own it. I always see you play Grey Knights.
Rogaldorn!
Rogel Dorn.
Well-
Oh, there it is. Who's got that?
It's the best Legion.
Alexis.
Tyranids are the
Alexis
best
hates
leader.
Rogaldorn.
Hell yeah, that's a good one.
She thinks the stupidest thing in the world is yellow space marines.
No.
Oh, they're just.
Oh,
No way.
Brian's like, I would
Play the
never
yellow
take
one.
you out.
No way.
You need to shut up right now.
I'm all red scorpions, bro. You know me. I'm just waiting for the new chapter tag.
All I do.
Oh shit, the 30K ones,
No.
right? Or not
They're
30K.
40K,
Forge
it's
World.
Forge
Forge
World
World.
chapter.
Forge World.
Brand
That's right,
is a lying motherfucker.
What?
He's like,
Whoa!
What is that?
all my guys are red scorpions, but I'm going to play the White Scars chapter tag.
I did that one game.
You did that more than you did a whole
One
campaign.
damn game.
Whole
One game.
campaign. Why would I not take White
Here's some
Scars?
past
Yeah.
heat.
Yeah.
Here's some past heat coming out right here.
I know. You might
It's
have
not
that-
for you,
Bro,
That was
I
like
love
10
you,
up,
but
man.
your
I'm
white
not-
scars, red scorpions
Those
are
are
terrible.
straight up fighting for
I
you.
know, right? But that's okay. I can get by it. I can
Hey,
feel the hate there, but it's okay. Red
Oh, I
scorpion.
have Dominus Noxus. Thank you. I love it. I like the person with the Night Lords. I'm cool with them. I don't know who they are, but I'm cool with them.
That was pretty funny.
Yep.
I'm waiting for Fires of Syraxis to come out.
Fire
Now,
Sriracha?
didn't you say?
Syraxis.
Didn't you say one of the saving throws or the hit modifiers or
Fires
whatever
of
was from
Sriracha.
a board game that they recreated that they tested?
Oh, I wasn't sure. I'm not sure about that. Maybe it's like from
It's great. It is
It's
good.
getting out of hand, though.
from
It's
the
like
Prospero
Prospero.
box set. That
You're
was an
my
interesting
fucking
thing
chair.
that they had there.
Yeah.
But the,
Alright. Skype in another YouTuber.
Oh, what's going
I
on?
like this.
Oh, what's up?
If it'll connect.
Yo,
Hey,
Yo.
Alexis, what's going on?
Night Lords have terrible rules. Count on Drogo's a
Hey,
bitch.
will you
We
shut
all
the
know
hell
that.
up so I can like
Come on, man.
get this
Calm down.
Skype call set up?
You
Oh my
calm
God,
down. I'm
guys.
reading comments. It's fine.
So have
You're
we
just-
have we
you're yelling
completely triggered
comments.
you with our lore discussion and our yellow
okay,
space
hopefully
marines?
this starts working and everything.
I
Sorry,
see,
my
yeah.
hair and makeup look like shit. I just got out of the
That's
shower.
I don't see shit. I
Well,
don't
you're
care.
not gonna see shit.
I see an
because
apple.
I can see the Skype screen and then I have to share the.
Well, I'm
screen.
just saying, it doesn't matter to the rest of us, so it's fine. I
Um,
don't care.
I actually have
Okay,
to adjust
perfect.
it. So, all right, so you can hear me and everything.
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Have we triggered you with our lore discussions?
Oh my god. Okay,
Triggered?
dude in the hat. What's the dude in the hat's name?
Well, you got to the
Sidetrack Johnson.
sidetrack, John. The chat is given nicknames. So, Brian has become Prison Pants.
your orange pants, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's
and
great.
Did you
Okay.
just
Oh, yeah,
now
you-
get
you-
that?
you're out
Jake is the
smoking.
guy that you're referring to, though, with the hat.
Okay, so you were both right and wrong about Reboot Gilliman.
Oh, here we go.
And it's,
Ooh.
Oh!
it's actually pronounced Robooty Girly Man.
It's
Because he
Rowboat
got
Girly
the boot.
Man, that's all I know.
No, it's not Girly Man.
It's Girly Man. It's Rowboat
No,
Girly
it's
Man.
actually Gilliman.
Whatever,
Um,
Girly
but
Man
yeah.
works for me. You are.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
gonna
no,
pronounce
no,
it
no.
right. I
Okay.
meant this right away.
I'm trying to get the media
Alright.
source in here.
So you are actually right that the Ultramarines made themselves extremely powerful when they split the legions.
Okay.
In fact, the only other loyalist legion that could actually fight up against the Ultramarines at this point
Imperial Fist.
is actually
Black Templars.
the Dark Angels.
Oh, really? I thought it'd be Black Templars, but all right, cool.
At the end of the campaign, end of the Horus Heresy, Space Marines had 500,000 Space Marines, which broke up into about 500 legions. Which is why there's currently 1,000 legions of Space Marines that all, half of them are from Ultramarines, which is why most successors are Ultramarines. But the Dark Angels are the only ones that still fight under Legion rules.
So not
Okay.
not Codex Astartes.
They do follow the codex, but they kinda cheat.
Okay, I may get that, but wouldn't the Black Templars be considered a cheating one as well, even though they'd be Imperial Fists? Aren't they like...
They are
go
technically a
above
crusading
that.
fleet, which is given
Yeah.
sanctioned by the
Yeah.
Ordo Hereticus and Ordo Malleus. So they're allowed to get around the chapter tactics and
So
chapter...
the number limit and all that, that's why they can get
Yeah.
above the number
The-
limit.
Order
Okay.
Hereticus.
The other one that can get around it is the Space Wolves, mostly because they just say, fuck you, we're the Space Wolves.
Fuck the Space Wolves. No offense to...
Well,
Fuck.
that's why I said Magnus, but yeah.
Fuck the Space Wolves.
Opinions, they're everywhere.
I have a
no.
lot of opinions. I respect a lot, but I don't like the Space Wolves.
They're mutants. They need burned.
They're
And
furries. I
now
don't like
covering
them.
everybody.
Can I say that?
Are you on PETA's side? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh,
Oh!
Why would you bring that
Oh!
up?
I'm
What
just
is
saying.
wrong with
Hey,
you?
Why'd you bring that up?
He said fuck.
The Space
Space
Wolf.
Wolf.
I think that's a fair statement.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a PETA sticker on his car.
You don't even know what my car looks like. What the
a
hell
Camry.
car?
It's the one covered in non-fur items.
You took you like
It's a
5 minutes.
Cameron.
Whose car
It's
is
a
it?
Camry.
No, it's not a Camry. It was a Prius.
Whose car
It's
is
definitely
You
a
drive
Prius.
a Prius?
No, I do
He
not.
drives a
I
Prius.
do not drive a
And it
Prius.
says he's a vegan
No.
also.
Oh my
Oh.
god, you drive a Prius.
Oh, a vegan? That's even worse. Are you
No.
kidding
I don't know
me?
what's worse, a vegan or somebody who drives a Prius.
Oh.
I drive a lesbian
A
mobile.
vegan
but
is
still.
way. I mean, I love vagina, but I mean, a vegan is way worse. I gotta go with that. So I'll take a Prius over a vegan any
Yeah,
day.
it's way worse.
Whatever.
Okay, so long as you're not gonna white knight somebody.
Wait, what? No, I didn't even.
I don't think I caught that.
Yeah, what
actually.
was that again?
As long as you're not white knighting somebody.
Oh, white knighting. Yeah, we don't do social justice warriors on this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
What?
what the
No.
fuck is white
Absolutely
knighting?
not.
What
I like,
the-
and I,
What the fuck is
I'll be the
white
first to
knighting?
say that I'm a liberal, but I hate social justice warriors. I don't do that whole game. Which I was talking, but I did tell Jacob that YouTube is.
Fuck
great-
you!
No, just will you shut up?
Jeez.
Let me talk?
It's not Jacob.
I'm kinda tired.
It's 32.
YouTube has
Keeps
gotten
calling
really
Jacob.
crazy
I told him
about
like 8
licensing.
million times.
Has it affected
Yes.
you at all, Alexis?
I just call you Dad.
Actually,
That's fair.
The effect of YouTube?
Yeah.
Like censoring people?
yeah.
No, my content has actually grown because of it.
Oh, good. That's good.
Huh?
Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
smaller YouTubers are actually growing because of it. Larger YouTubers are losing half their audience.
Well, I figured
No
that
shit.
like
Nice.
40K and everything is niche already, and then tabletop gaming is another niche. So like I figured we may not be affected by something like that, but all the guys that do political casts, they're getting like hammered really, really hard.
Yeah, because you don't
He's
want
a
to put
bitch.
an ad on somebody
makes
who
me
says
laugh.
cunt
He's a
every
bitch,
single
though.
sentence.
He's terrible.
Right.
He
That's
says
fair.
the dumbest shit.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's
Not
that's
you.
kind of my thing.
Well,
Again, I'm a
Well,
Maybe sometimes.
people
some
can
of
generally
you,
say whatever
but,
they
you know,
want,
that's-
but I understand that. Why advertisers
This is a
wouldn't want
sweet
that. I think the
chair.
I
reason
hate
that they
you.
did it
That was
initially
my-
freaked out
Queen's
was
back,
totally
what?
stupid though. Like
Well-
Coke was like, oh no,
Oh, not
it's,
before that. That's
like
kinda
it's not a
weird.
prolific thing. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. It actually was it was supporting like certain things and certain bad ideals, like people who are going around robbing people who are going around doing those 24-hour challenges, people who are breaking and
I thought this was
entering were
about-
actually getting
Wait,
ad
wait,
revenue
what
on
just
that
happened?
channel.
Yeah, that's what Brian went to
We've
prison for. Actually,
completely shifted gears.
Yeah, so it's
I'm just kidding.
on most channels I can see them restricting it, but
This
to
is
affect
about 8th
every
edition.
single channel kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Helping you out.
So we were
I'm
talking
about ready to leave.
just
I
at
don't
the
care.
end there about 8th edition with what are you doing?
about 8th edition.
Oh yeah, I'm getting back on topic.
Okay.
But yeah, we're talking
Talk about
the
a
8th
sidetrack.
edition.
What
You
was
talking?
it?
What was the last?
Yeah, I'm
thing that we were-
sidetracked. Fuck you. That's what I am.
Sidetracked on. So what was the last thing we were talking about? 8th edition was the we talked about the command point system,
Yep.
right, and how that was going to affect it, and then the
That's gonna be fucking awesome, by the way.
yeah, I think so too.
We'll see.
But we were saying,
Hey, I'm gonna give up one of my command points. My guys strike first.
oh,
Boom,
instead of
counterattack.
okay,
Yeah,
instead
that'll
of
be
like
cool.
I
More
get you
strategic.
now,
I'd
instead
take
of
that.
Yeah.
somebody attacking
And
first.
for
That,
narrative,
yeah,
it'd
that'll
be
be
cool,
really.
too.
That'd be incredibly cool.
There you go. There's
Some
your,
of the command points might go into summoning, which would be really cool.
So, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I
Auto
like it.
passing psyker tests, because now it's going to go
So
back
we
to
still
the
need a
leadership
YouTube video
system
right now
and
that
still have the
shows
deny the witch system,
I think so.
Okay.
from what I hear anyway.
So you're just gonna make a leadership test to pass your spell?
Yeah. Just the way it was in 5th edition, 4th edition, and 3rd edition.
I wonder if they're going to have a thing.
Bringing that knowledge
I
bomb.
haven't played that long to comment on that.
I wonder
What
if
do
they
you
have a
think
thing
about
like
that,
Imperial
Brandon?
Fist.
Well, I like it.
Use
I
a
like the
command
fact that you just
boulder
roll your
drill.
leadership
Sure.
test.
That'd be
but,
cool.
you know,
like
you know,
something
things like denying
everyone
the witch.
just
How would
mounts
you,
up
No, it's
how would you go
orders for
against that if
Imperial-
someone only
Imperial
has to
Guard
make a
shit.
leadership test?
Deny the
that'd be
Witch would
sweet.
only count on successes, so target player A cast a spell. Let's just call it the bullshit Ray of Wolfenstein or something.
Right.
That's
Or
a fair
Geomancy,
spell.
another
I like
bullshit
that spell.
ability. You go to cast that. You roll. You succeed with a 7. So no, you succeed with 7 would succeed. The other opponent can attempt to deny the witch using their various abilities, such as Adamantium Will or just trying to block it on a 6.
Okay.
See, I don't know if I completely like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
knew you were
that's
gonna
a
complain.
tad
Well, you have to admit, in this current format, especially, I've actually done an experiment with this with the Gene Stealer cult and summoning. We played a 1,500 point game. I brought 7 Magoses. I summoned in 3,000 plus points by the end of the game.
Shit.
Damn.
That's
Oh my
badass.
God.
Yeah, no shit.
Holy crap.
Like,
My
damn.
opponent simply couldn't stop that.
No, you can't. You can't stop that. That's,
But if you roll 1-6, you stop it?
No, if you roll 1-6, you prevent that ability for that turn.
Okay, so it's
Right.
almost like the Tyranid thing with rolling doubles, except it's not for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
it's just
where,
for
where
that
it
turn.
plugs up the
Yeah,
polygons
okay,
or whatever.
okay.
Yeah.
No, what
Also, it would bring back the Tyranid's ability to deny Shadow in the Warp.
Well, I guess my question is, say I cast invisibility on, and I have 6 successes. You only need 1. So if I make a leadership test and pass,
No.
I only
You're
need
no
1-6 to
longer
pass it.
rolling. You're no longer rolling a pool of dice to do your abilities. You just roll leadership tests to do your abilities.
Yeah, I get that though. But if I really want that spell to go off, that's why I would roll 8 dice to cast it.
You're not going to have that
Yeah,
option. You're
you
just
don't
making the
have
leadership
that pool
test.
anymore.
Okay.
That
That's
pool
not a
is no
pool.
longer
It's just
there.
a straight
Well, I
leadership
understand
test.
that, but the reason why I throw 6 dice at it
But
is
you-
to make it harder for you to pass it.
To knock it
They're
down.
just
Yes,
they're just
but
reworking that
invisibility
entirely.
is actually going to be dropped from 8th edition.
Oh.
Yes.
Really?
Well, I'm just saying.
Really?
That
I'm
won't
just
hurt my
saying.
feelings.
Uh-oh,
Bring me,
no,
bring me
that's-
the
you
source
just
for
heard
that shit.
That's
right
no
now.
awesome.
Yeah, no, thank
but
you.
So far, I've called 90% of the bullshit out, and I'm
That's
going by
great.
what people have asked the 40K community.
But that's,
And
No, that's
invisibility
fine.
is
If it's
just
gone,
too
it's gone.
powerful.
it is. It's very
It's
powerful.
ridiculous.
But what I'm getting at is, it seems slightly unbalanced when you have a heavy psyker army that casts lots of spells, and all you need to do is roll 1 dice
Oh,
to
no,
stop
no,
the spell
You
from
wouldn't have,
occurring.
your units wouldn't have that unless you had a psyker of your own or anti-psykers.
So Sisters of Silence.
Okay.
Which are going to be
This is
amazing.
Silence or the No Maiden Rhinos or Psychic Hoods, Adamantium
Okay.
Will, things like that would be able to stop
Well,
psychic
Okay,
attacks.
so say I have an army of 25 psychers and you have 1. That one guy can stop every spell that I cast.
No, only one.
Okay.
Only one. Yeah, that
Alright.
makes sense.
That
So
makes sense.
okay. Yeah.
But, like...
All right, I'm
go
not
back-
freaking out anymore.
Now, if they did that with adamantium,
I
that'd
have
be
calmed
great, 'cause,
down.
like,
I can still make my
every
OP
sister's
work.
unit has adamantium.
Where's the
Well,
brown
you
paper
guys
bag?
agree with that?
Wait, guys, hold on. Say it again, Brandon.
Well, if that was the case, every sister's army unit has adamantium will. If they can do that, that would be a boost, because right now adamantium will doesn't really do that much for you, because people are usually buffing themselves with invisibility or something else, or they're summoning, so that doesn't directly affect you. Adamantium will very seldom comes into play.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
true. Same with Black
Yeah.
Templars. It's like great. You're not
Well, that's
targeting
because the
me.
Black
Who gives a
Templars
shit?
are terrible in this edition, which is a shame.
It is.
Okay,
It is
thank
a
you for the shame.
Yeah.
I appreciate the agreement.
It's
I
a shame.
appreciate the agreement, because that is a damn
Well,
shame.
I mean, any assault-based army right now is garbage.
Which
it's
is-
why when I play
and
my
I
orcs,
chose
I
the
never
other one to
bring
play
orcs.
as orcs
That's what I
because I'm an
just-
idiot.
That's
because
what I
of
just
it.
said about the Tyranids. I don't know if you heard that. That's why I play.
Well, my Tyranids
shooty
have
bugs.
yet to lose a game this edition. A big game.
I will.
I
good-
actually have the
good for you,
highest
Billy
loss
Badass.
record with my Tyranids than any other army.
Yeah.
Are you shooty Tyranids or are you assault Tyranids?
Well, when you bring 7 flying hive tyrants to a game,
Jesus
I'm not
Christ!
even like that.
What the hell is wrong with you? What the hell is
But
wrong with you?
I told you that's how the tournament lists are.
Oh, that's
It's
so
well,
bad.
actually, my tournament list is not 7 flying hive tyrants. It's
Thank
even
you,
more
that's
bullshit.
so bad.
It's even more bullshit. What's your
Nice.
tournament list?
Is yours the
Okay,
Moloch?
my tournament list is 3 testicles to bring up the troop choices, the little score mines that are 15 points each.
That's good.
Yep.
I like that.
Okay, 3 flying hive tyrants,
Holy
3 Moaks.
shit. Holy
Yeah, Molochs. That's a big one. I use them.
Okay, that's
Oh
it.
my
And then on top of that, it's subterranean uprising, subterranean uprising, subterranean uprising, subterranean uprising, subterranean uprising, subterranean uprising, and subterranean uprising.
This is butt fuck the game list is what I'm hearing right now. This is like
It's a good list.
It's a great list.
that's
Holy
fantastic.
shit, that's wonderful.
I show up exactly where I want
Oh
to.
my god.
I'm going to beat your squads down to just the little guys left, and then kill them with my hive tyrants.
Oh, that's
But
so
that's how they should work. Again,
fucking
that's
awful.
like fluffy for Tyranids. I mean, that's Zerg being
It
Zerg,
actually
right?
is.
That's incredibly
Well,
fluffy for
technically,
Tyranids,
the
and that's a
list
beautiful
isn't fluffy
Tyranid
for
list.
Tyranids.
No, there would be
No?
tons of little guys on the board.
No.
Okay.
And the only reason it isn't is because when a Tyranid hive fleet comes to a planet and actually hits the planet, the first thing they do is devour the cult.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay, so using call for... Okay, I
Okay.
gotcha. Alright.
Now,
Never
there
mind.
are rare circumstances where the cult will be used for a little bit until the Tyranids can actually make a
That's
beachhead, but
Huh.
when they're sending in hive tyrants, at that point, the Tyranids are winning.
Well, I mean, if you're thinking full system fleet and they've already converted a couple of planets, though, that becomes a really fluffy-ass list, because what the hell Tyranid, you know... God damn it, I just forgot the name of it. Swarmlord doesn't want to send in, like, a bunch of fucking, you know, dudes up from the ground and take care of everything. So, I mean, that's
Yeah.
good tactics.
Well, the
Yeah.
first thing the Tyranid hive fleet does is when it consumes the gene steal occult, it gains all the instinctive
Yep.
knowledge of the planet
Which is
itself,
so
including
good.
its defense forces
It is... What,
and its tactics.
that actually makes me wonder why Tyranids don't get, like, preferred enemy as, like, a talent or, like, skill, if you will, for, like, most of their species.
Or,
'Cause,
you know, have preferred enemy the second they kill something similar
Exactly.
to the Democaric.
Well, and that's what we said earlier.
Yeah, that makes. I like
Yeah,
that.
that was
exactly.
cool.
And that's something we said earlier in the cast when we were talking about with Edwin over here about accuracy for Tyranids. It's like, well, if you think about it, Tyranids, the way they breed things, if they want something accurate, they can just breed something that's insanely fucking accurate. You know, they
Right.
what do they
Well,
care about?
The Tyranids' adaptation abilities are actually lackluster. They can adapt things to fight, similar to how the Tau adapt their technology to fight, but they can't innovate on the dime.
So it's what they take in is what makes the difference then. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Well,
that
back-
makes sense then. Okay.
Back to
Yeah, they have to
Sisters
beat
of
it
Silence.
first before
Okay.
they can
No, that
make
makes a hell of a lot of
I
sense.
want to see how they're
They'd
going
be
to work.
unstoppable.
So it's less adaptive.
Right,
It's
right.
less adaptive evolution and more what the hell, whatever the hell is right there is available for my evolution.
Yeah,
Okay,
that makes
Yes.
sense. That
That
makes
makes
a lot
sense.
more
Well,
sense.
it's kind of like how everybody thinks the Tau are super high tech and super advanced when they're actually not. They take a battle suit, make said battle suit bigger, or make said battle suit do something different, but at the end of the day, it's still a battle suit, still has the same systems, and still does the same exact thing.
That's
Bigger's better.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in the case of bigger is better, when it comes to Tyranids, like their way of dealing with Emperor-class Titans and big giant Titans is they literally just feed a tendril from orbit into its head
Yeah.
and kill the team.
Which is
inside.
crazy cool. Like, holy shit,
It
that's
is cool,
fucking
but
rad.
I mean,
That
Imperial
is-
Knights and Night Titans are my thing. Those are my jam, man. They're just
You
awesome.
play the Dirty Inquisition, no one cares about you.
Well,
Oh, you don't say that about the
Hey.
burn the
hey.
witches,
Hey.
okay?
Word on
Hey.
Hereticus, baby.
I'm
This guy
saying-
here, man,
I
he plays
love the
freaking Space
Inquisition.
Marines.
They're
You
one
love-
of the only
I hate
armies
the
that actually
Inquisition.
fit the grim, dark atmosphere.
Good
Nah.
That's right.
No, Inquisition or heresy, man. The Emperor's not a god. We know that.
Okay,
The
what,
He
Emperor
did not
created
wanna be a
the
god.
Inquisition.
Alexis, I need you to clear some shit up for me for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, he's saying that the Inquisition worshipped the Emperor as a god. I'm saying that is not true.
That isn't true.
Thank
They've
you.
never worshipped him as a god. The only
They
order
execute
that
millions of people in his name as a god, so even if they don't worship him, it doesn't make a difference.
No. You're thinking Order Hereticus, which
Isn't
worship
that
him
part of
as
the
a
Inquisition?
deity, but they know the
Forget
truth.
that.
Their higher ups do know the truth.
But I mean, still, they're part of the Inquisition, and they execute people in the name of the Inquisition. So it's
Scions and Grey Knights tend to for secrecy versus actual killing them in the name of the Emperor.
All I'm saying.
If you want to,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue. My apologies. Continue.
if you want to see a legion that actually kills people in the name of the God Emperor,
say word bearers. Please say word bearers. Please say.
Well,
fuck
yes.
the word bearers.
Or any Chaos Legion.
So dirty.
Yeah.
But there's actually very little. Well, aside from the Sisters of Battle, there's very little that actually kill in the name of the God Emperor.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying though. A lot of the ecclesiarchy work
What
for
about
the Inquisition.
I mean,
A lot of the
really
ecclesiarchy
stupid
kill
legions.
under the Inquisition.
There's a lot of stupid legions or stupid chapters that believe that the Emperor is a god, such as the Black Templar, who are dumb as a box of fucking rocks.
They are, and I love them to death, but I entirely disagree with them on where they're at for the god, because again, the Emperor himself was like, screw you ass bitches, I ain't no god. Stop this.
In the Beast Arises series, the entire legion of Imperial Fists
Is wiped
worship
out.
the Emperor as a god.
Oh wait,
That
they were
includes
no.
the
Oh
Black
really?
Templar.
Oh, I missed
Yes.
that part. Okay, I knew they got wiped out, but I didn't know they turned to worship.
That's what I'm saying. She can
Okay.
educate to us some lore.
Okay.
It's
Well,
actually
no, I
in,
appreciate it. I like the
third or
education.
fourth
I
book.
do.
But I want to know what is going to happen with the Sisters of Silence, because we just got that codex.
You'll never know. They're not going to talk.
Shut up, Ed.
I see what you did
We
there.
just got that codex. We just got the rules. And they can, like, fire outside of the Rhino, the Null Maiden Rhino, as it's moving and stuff. Like, they can do stuff like that in the codex. So I want to know if that's going to stick around. Do you think that's going to stick around?
Oh, that is a tough one.
No.
But if we look towards older editions, like the Squigolf, for instance, where it can have
missed
passengers on it, and it is a monstrous creature at T7,
Okay.
you can ride aboard it and fire out of it.
I don't see
You
them
think that's BS
doing
or
that.
what?
I don't think they're going to do that.
Why?
You got firing points, and that's it.
Well, I guess, but...
I mean,
Yeah, they're not going to do away with the firing points.
Yeah, everybody's not going to be able to fire out of that. And there's a
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason.
We only got a
do
certain
that.
number of areas you can shoot at unless you're an open
Unless
top.
you're open
so-
top.
Yeah, exactly.
Which,
Unless
but
you're
they're
open top.
vulnerable to getting shot, too, so...
But
Yeah.
still, it's more shots.
If I hit you
Unless
with a
you're in power
flamer,
armor.
if I hit you with a flamer in an open top vehicle, yes, you will feel it.
yeah. Yeah.
Then with the template thing, it makes it even weirder. If the template,
Well, I mean, in a lot of the tournament lists, they run the
Oh my god, I'm
rhinos.
so glad the templates are gone.
They run the.
Really?
I don't know.
I'm not.
I liked them. I
It's
liked
a
it.
tough
It
one.
I like
kind
the
of.
templates,
Yes and
I'm
no.
not gonna
It's
lie.
a
I'm
My-
excited
my-
about losing the bullshit argument of this guy's partial enemy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's
I agree
that's
with you.
great.
I do like
But what I was saying was like, let's say for example, if you're listening here, you've got like a dude that's sitting, you've got a unit, like you got an 8-inch range for a flamer, right? So you got a unit that is 2 inches in front of you, and then you have a second unit right behind that unit that's within that 8-inch range, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not using a template and you fire that flamer, is it only hitting the unit in front and ignoring the other units in back that would be able to get
It's
hit
only
with a
going to hit
template?
one unit.
It's only gonna hit one
yeah.
unit. I
Which
think.
One unit.
which doesn't make any sense to me.
I
Because
don't like
It doesn't.
that.
It doesn't
I
make
don't like
sense.
that. There was a
That's
lot
what
of.
I'm saying.
Okay,
That I don't
okay,
like.
okay.
She wants to respond to that.
Think of the way a flamer works in World War II. They don't aim at a second unit behind a unit. They literally just walk it across units.
But no, it would hit the second unit behind if it's in range. That's what I'm saying. When you ignite the flamer and there's
Like,
2
it'll
units
burn
in
everything.
range.
I agree with that. It'll burn everything.
Yeah, there's 2 units in range when you ignite the flamer. You've got an 8-inch cone. You've got 2 units in that 8 inches. Why is it only hitting the unit in front?
Well, that hot oil will get on everything. It'll
Well, yeah,
burn
that
everything.
too.
It'll, like, anything
That's
in
where
its
I
path.
lose. That's where I wonder about the template because
I'm
I fired into swarm armies so many times, and that's one of the nice
I'm
things.
so
about it.
glad it's gone for that exact reason. Boys are viable again. Viable.
Boys are
again.
viable. No, I love this because I'm playing orcs, and I love the fact that boys are viable for the morale thing for in melee. But as much as I would love to not get fucked by a flamer every left and right, the fact that it's
Dude,
not.
Gretchen's in love with you, dude.
But the fact that it's
What?
not hitting as a template drives me
Prison
insane.
Pants comes closer. Yes.
Oh damn,
Well,
you got
nice.
some
We
fans,
also
buddy.
don't
do.
know
Yeah.
how
Whoa.
many weapons are going to work yet. I have a feeling that multiple weapons are going to stack and do more damage. As stated when they actually said on their forum page, on their Facebook page, they actually said that a lasgun can now destroy a land raider. That's stupid. And then they were like, no, you're going to need a lot more than one lasgun to destroy a land raider. And he was like, well, I can line up 50 guardsmen to destroy that land raider. I'll eventually hurt it. And then they were like, no, you're going to need about 500 to actually get through a land raider.
Which is great,
So,
but again, that doesn't answer the template question.
We don't know how weapons are going to stack yet. It might be D6 times the amount of guys in the unit, similar to that of Luda's now.
I would hate that even more.
I mean, what about the big question is artillery. Like, that really...
That's true. That's a good one.
Ruins artillery.
That is a good one.
Or it makes it super broken.
No. Artillery is going to be amazing.
Which there's a reason why
I like
it is the way it is now.
Thunderfire cannons?
It's very it's balanced
More
for
thunder,
what it is.
more thunderfire.
Because most artillery pieces are very undercosted. They don't cost a lot.
Most artillery pieces like thud guns end friendships and just show how big your dick is. But
that is a good. That is a great reason to deploy artillery. I'm not gonna lie.
But what I'm saying is,
from the man's side of warfare, that's like the number one reason to put your artillery out there.
Oh man, he's the king of playing lists like that.
Well, that's because Edwin has to compensate.
all I'm saying is though,
jokes aside, obviously you guys know I'm joking.
A basilisk is not very many points.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I personally think that something like a basilisk or the basilisk cannon itself, if you take it as an artillery piece, is going to hit something along the lines of 2d6 models from where you shoot it using the scatter dice or the misfire dice.
But there's no scatter dice.
You're going to target one guy
there's no scatter dice.
And then move your target to that spot and then roll distance from that using a measuring tape, or it's going to hit anybody within range of it.
What the hell did I just hear?
I don't know. I'm laughing at Caldor saying I'm hotter than 32's girlfriend and I have a bigger Titan sword.
Oh my
That's
god,
for you,
tell
baby.
them, Drago, stop it. Do not tell them. Do not tell them.
This
Drago's
is for
got
you,
me
baby.
cracking up when he's on your live.
Drago,
No,
I got
that's
some
it.
heresy
That's
for
my
you right
show.
here, baby.
That's
Oh,
my
yeah, Drago. Get in on it.
God.
We all know you're a demon, Drago. We all know it's true.
This is totally devolved.
Well, yeah.
Into Dumpster Fire 40K after.
I mean, the basilisk, if it does that many wounds, it makes it very good.
Well, yeah, no
But
shit. Right? Yeah,
are they going to adjust the points accordingly to if it's going to be that destructive?
I'm sure.
Because right now they're cheap.
I hope so.
Alright, I'm gonna go.
And now they're going to...
It
Since
might
we've
be
devolved
something
on
like
this.
2d6
You get
minus
it,
or 1d6
You get-
plus
I'm
stat.
gonna take that chair though.
We don't know that yet.
At this point, I don't
Right.
give a shit, man. Do what you want.
Yeah, that's part of the rub. They haven't revealed some of this stuff. So again, like we were saying earlier, it's all just very speculative and all that stuff.
I'm excited. I'm just ready. I'm ready to know more. I want more info leaked.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Oh, I'm super excited.
You have
This is
to
gonna
be
amazing.
optimistic. We've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this game. It better.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I've got
Shit's
like
gonna hit the fan if it ain't good.
10 armies. I'm not just gonna sell them. You know, so.
I don't like talking about the size of my armies. My smallest one currently is 4,000 points.
Hey, I mean,
Nice.
I started playing this
That's
game
pretty
in
sexy.
December 2016, and I've got 9 armies. Like, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
That's cute.
That's
That's
cute.
cute. She's like, yeah, whatever.
No, if I turned on my webcam right now, I could show you my Titan shelf.
I want to see the
Do
Titan
it.
shelf.
Do it. Do it.
I've got
Hang on.
the screen up too.
I am not. Alright, whatever.
Well, I want to see the Titan shelf before we wrap everything up.
Okay,
I
so.
also would like to see.
Can you guys see me?
Yes.
I don't know if my hair is still soaked.
We
So,
can.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Wait for it.
Yep, we're good.
Okay.
Oops.
So.
No, we're not.
Oh, wait, can your viewers see me as well?
Yeah, they can. Do you want me to turn that off?
No, that's fine. Okay, so if you look back there, that's my Tyranid Hive Tyrant box.
Okay.
Alright, that's where all of my Hive Tyrants are. Up there, right there, that's a Battle Fortress. There's another Battle Fortress next to it.
Nice.
Up there is my Titan shelf.
Oh, sweet.
Very nice.
That's
There's a Hierodule, Hierophant, 3 barbed Hierodules, 3 scythe Hierodules, 1 barbed Hierodule, 1
What the fuck are we doing?
what is it? Warhound, 3 knights.
Oh,
Next to it is a Storm Raven. In that box over there, there's more stuff that's unbuilt. And then back to me.
Gretchen Force. A girl enters the room and the men lose their minds.
I know, I saw that.
Great. Gretchen Force, you're hilarious.
Yeah,
But anywho.
Gretchen's pretty funny. But yeah, so, well, thank you for coming on the stream. And
Yeah, no problem.
Just about to kind of wrapping it up, and
Yeah, actually.
I think we've covered the range and myriad of opinions. But I do want to ask before we do that: did you have plans to go to Nova Open?
I told you what was going to happen.
You did.
Nova opening, I plan to once I get my car situated under control.
All
My
right.
car situation under control.
Okay.
But
Well, yeah, like let me know because I'm trying to get a local group of people together to go to Nova Open and
I'm trying.
get
Depends
that
how
trip
broke
going.
I am.
These 2 guys are going to Gen Con, so they're not going to be there. But
I'll try to go.
I'm working on it, but I may be
You weren't
broke.
supposed to tell them that. But anyway, where is Nova?
I'll try.
Nova is in DC.
I'll
and
bring
it's
my
August
prison
31st.
shorts.
There you go.
I'll bring the
Yeah.
prison shorts.
Tell whoever's
Yeah,
after his
yeah.
prison shorts, they'll be there. They'll be there at that con. Get
Yeah,
I'll
yourself
take
to
it.
DC.
Prison Pants
Well,
is coming.
if I do show up, just look for the 8-foot tall demon.
Okay.
Here you go,
Nice.
prison pants. There you go. Have fun.
Or I can also show up in my sister battle armor.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, there you
I
go.
might come then.
Oh, great.
Anyway, moving on.
Wait, hold on. Fuck
Moving
Gen
on.
Con. Fuck.
No, Gen Con is. Have you ever been to Gen Con?
It's great. Gen Con
Yeah,
is so
I would
wonderful.
like to go to Gen Con.
Gen
But
Con
what
is
we should do
wonderful.
is we should build a cardboard drop pod and like walk into that and then just bust out.
Everybody, that'd be for like a pinata
That's
or
what
like a
we should
Trojan horse of drop pod. That'd
Yeah.
be great.
Like bull
Oh
in
my
a China
God, that
shop.
would
We'll
be
just knock
awesome.
everybody's models all over the
That
place.
is
People will
great.
be carrying trays and we'll just bust out of a drop pod.
That'd be pretty cool.
It'd be great.
That's a lot of work.
But yeah, so all right, thanks for everyone for
You're gonna
tuning
need a
in.
really big
First thing,
drop
Brian.
pod for
Though,
me and
fuck,
Brad.
that's a lot of work,
Yeah,
dude.
sure.
Yeah, how you gonna move? Dude, how am I gonna drive all this shit
Yeah,
there?
for all of you listeners. But yeah,
Someone's
thanks
gotta
for
be
tuning in,
realistic.
guys, and thanks again, Alexis, for coming on. And
Yep, no problem. This is
Yep.
fun.
yep, for sure, we should do it more. And thanks for watching, everybody. And we'll see you later. Assault the like, shares, and subscribe. Subscribe to Alexis. Please subscribe to our channel. And everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening.
All right, love you
Cheers.
guys.
See
Bye.
ya.
Praise the Emperor.